Hello. I think this is working, and I don't think the audio is doubled.
Hello.
That's why we do the countdown, is to fix those problems. So thank you for letting me know. Thank you guys for being here. I'm Tom. This is my lovely wife, Heather.
That's me.
You know her.
Yes.
She's the,
You have 78 people.
she's the brains behind the operation. We're going to get started today. Hi, everyone. I see Switzerland, Germany, LA. That's not far from here.
Tell us where you're from.
All over the place.
Roll call.
Yeah, roll call. One by one. Savvy Turtle's here. Savvy's been crushing it with setting up a cool live stream setup. So that's I'm glad you're here. I'm honored you would spend your time with me. We decided to do a live stream in our time. It's early afternoon. I didn't want to there's a lot of people stream on Sunday nights, West Coast time. I didn't want to step on them, so I want to do an early one here. Introvert, amateur, learning photo and video. Hello. Thank you for being here. I'm glad you could catch the stream.
We have so many people from everywhere. Look at this.
This is the best part about YouTube, is you get to realize how
UK, Ohio, Canada,
How
South
many people
Carolina,
are-
Malaysia, Toronto, Chicago, England, Cayman Islands, Santa Barbara, New Jersey, Bay Area, Dublin.
We got Dublin,
Netherlands. Wow.
Poland. This is amazing. So if you don't think
so
YouTube
cool.
is like a cool thing to do, the fact that this is at all possible is kind of amazing. Mega Bros Squad, 5 a.m. Thank you for getting up this early with us. Good morning. I hope your day is great. And Mr. Camera Junkies from Hollywood, Florida. I always get confused when I see that. All right. Let's kind of jump into what we're going to talk about today.
What are we talking about, Tom?
We can talk about whatever we want, actually.
There you go.
So every time I live stream, I always say, I want to do more live streams. And then 2 months pass. But,
I tried to get him to do it, guys.
there's a lot of stuff. There's videos, there's podcasts, there's other live streams. So it is what it is. But today I wanted to do one, especially because last week the channel hit 50,000, which is amazing. So thank you very, very much for that. And I didn't want to just do milestone every time there's a live stream. It's just because there's a milestone, but it is a really cool thing.
Sorry, I just played the DJ air horn sound because that's amazing.
I can play it here too. There we go.
Can you please acknowledge that you hit 50K and that's kind of a big deal?
It is a big deal. It's kind of surreal. Yeah, because if you don't remember my YouTube story or you weren't here, I had made my first 40 videos with 26 subscribers or something at the end. So
Yay!
yeah, there's that. But I wanted, the thing that I have learned more than anything is really remembering that when you see your numbers go up on YouTube or wherever, that those are actual people, and you can really make a connection with those people. Raphael,
Super chat.
is this to pay me to do our collab? Thank you so much. I appreciate that very, very much. Completely unnecessary, but much appreciated.
That's
we can
sweet.
eat dinner tonight. So TJ Lovelady is here asking, is this Ecamm or StreamYard? I'm glad you asked. This is Ecamm Live, and we're actually using the M1 Mac Mini. I don't know. I set up a second angle. I don't know if you can see it, but I have it over here is the M1 Mac Mini. I got the just base model one, the cheapest one that Best Buy had in stock. And it is unreal. She's tired of hearing how much I love this computer. But this is the first stream I've done on my channel with it. So I'm curious. Oh, he did 50 for 50K.
That's sweet.
It's because he's smart. He's one of the smartest people I know, but he keeps it on the down low and just acts very I don't know, I'm just here. And then you realize, no, you're completely brilliant. Dean Cullen is asking, let's see the setup for today's stream. Sure, let's talk about that. Actually, it ties into what I wanted to do today. So I'm using the Ecamm Mini. Didn't set up I was filming a video right before this, so I didn't set up as many shots and things as I wanted. I've got a camera over here. This is an EOS R. I'm borrowing a Sigma 18 to 35 on a Metabones speed booster to give it that extra wide yet still shallow depth of field. And then the main camera is, of course, the EOS R with Sigma 24 millimeter. What else do we got going? We got Ecamm Mini here into the Mac Mini. And of course, audio is going to the Rodecaster. Then we're using Ecamm. And our audio, I've got the Rode PSA 1, if you watch the Boom Arm video. And Heather has the Gator Frameworks, because actually, oh yeah, you can see it there. Rode sent me, which was super cool. I just asked them like if I could buy one of the base mounts, and they said, we don't sell it, but we'll just send you one. And they sent me one because if you watch my review video on these boom arms, this one's a great arm, but the clamp kind of sucks. And Rode fixed that, so now it's super usable. And now when Heather and I do stuff here, we can each have a boom arm, and Heather's using the blue compass in your studio.
Yes.
So if you haven't seen Heather's streams and Heather's channel, she's got 2 channels. You can check out youtube.com/Heather Ramirez and youtube.com/Heather Just Create. If of course you should already be subscribed to those channels. And Heather has the pod mic with no windscreen on it. I've got pod mic with windscreen, kind of just to see if you can notice a difference. And one of the things I wanted to do today was I have a bunch of other microphones, and while we're chatting about whatever you guys want to touch base on, I wanted to just do microphone comparisons, because sometimes when I make my videos about mic comparisons, people will leave comments saying, like, accusing me of purposely like messing with the EQ to make one mic sound better than the other, which I promise
really?
is not the case. And today everything's being run through the Rodecaster with like no processing, no effects or anything. So I thought it'd be kind of cool. And there's some different combos that I want to share. And in my most recent video from this week, I was using the Shure MV7. And a lot of people left me messages, and they were like, what happened to the pod mic? Are you like leaving the pod mic? And I'm like, no, I just like microphones. So I switch them up. Jonathan said, show the Mac Mini. I should have gotten a close-up, but it's over here. And I have it on, I have no way of showing you this on the stream, but it's on this little dock from Amazon, which is like, it looks like a thinner version of the Mac Mini. And it has 4 USB ports plus SD card ports plus an internal SSD port. So I just put a 2 terabyte SSD in there, and basically it made the base model Mac Mini. Now I can have upgradable storage. It edits super fast off the external drive. It doesn't make noise because when I'm streaming and podcasting, and this is also where I work and teach my classes from now every day, and it my MacBook, which I love because it's powerful, sounds like it's going to go into orbit because the fan gets so loud, and the Mac Mini never makes a noise. So there we go. Oh, Ivan's asking the questions that really matter. Are I going to step it up with some cool purple hair or not? I don't know. My hair is like the longest it's ever been right now, actually.
My hair, I can't believe it still looks purple because I feel like it's grown out so much, but...
I mean, it looks good, though. We thought, because I have gray hair now, we thought that, like, maybe we could just put in, like, some blue or something hair dye.
I have to bleach my hair for the purple to stick, yeah.
But I am aging, so...
You can't say that to me because I'm older than you.
That's true.
Cybertron says, are you ever going to play drums on your shows? So go follow Tom on Instagram at SoDarnTom, because I think he's got this itch to be playing the drums, and he did a live stream yesterday on Instagram Live, so go check him out on Instagram.
Yeah, I just played around with it. Which was fun, and I got so nervous my hands cramped up. But yeah, I mean, sometimes I try to put it into videos. I did get, shameless plug, but Buzzsprout, where we host our podcasts and stuff, they sent me like this amazing care package over Christmas, which I was super grateful for. And one of the things in it was the Focusrite Scarlett 2i2. Which was funny because they sent it and they're like, we know you have the Rodecaster, but maybe you'll find a good use for this too. The thing about this is you can plug guitars directly into it, and it's an amazing audio interface, not just for microphones, but for music. And so I've been using it to sort of like poke around in some music recording. And my goal, a goal for 2021 is on the end screens of my videos, where I usually will just play royalty-free music from Epidemic or Artlist, is to play little riffs, because I can't write like full songs, but I can write 30 seconds of a song of like just a little musical thing. So if you notice the ending of my videos at some point start to sound lower quality, it's me.
Stop. Let's see.
Oh, Alicio's here.
Alicio.
Yes. If you're not familiar with Alicio, go check out his channel. He invited me on his podcast earlier this week, and it was so much fun.
That was fun to watch.
And afterwards, we ended up going to Clubhouse for like an after podcast party thing. But here's like my favorite thing about Alicio. Well, one of my favorite things. And I don't know him all that well, but he's not afraid to just jump in and go for it, which so many people get paralyzed when they want to do something creative, and they just like they get that paralysis of like, I'm gonna start, and he just jumps in, and he was like setting up his Ecamm thing as we were doing
it out on the fly,
because he was going live to YouTube for the first time, and it was great, and everything was fine. And at the end of it, he was like, why don't we try Clubhouse? Let's figure it out. And like, people in the comments were telling us how to hook up our phones and do this, and then we jumped. It was like, I love that it was fine. Like, it was not even bad, but I love that it was just sort of on the fly, figuring it out. That's like the thing that makes me more excited than anything. And so finding someone who is super comfortable with just doing that, I love it.
I like this question. Yandel, if you could restart your career with only one piece of gear, which would it be?
Oof. Oh.
I was going to say it would just be that Sony camera you had, because that's what you honestly started with.
You know what? Actually, yeah, that's where we'll go. Because I was actually going to go like, well, I should lean towards audio because audio is even more important than the visuals. But when I started my YouTube channel in 2017, I had like the original Canon 6D and some lenses. I had all this video experience, but I was getting paralyzed with
trying to make it look perfect.
I was renting lights to set up lighting and all this stuff, and I was like,
Cute.
It was so stupid. I mean, it wasn't stupid, but it's like I spent like an hour and a half setting up a lighting setup that looks only a little better than if I had just turned on like.
Can you guys all go to Tom's channel and watch his very first video? I mean,
I'm proud of that. That video is still good.
It's fantastic, but you can definitely tell that you're a lot more comfortable here.
It's a little stiff and like, hello, would you like to learn about being a drone pilot today?
It's cute.
I am a drone, but it. After that, though, I was like, I can't make YouTube videos if this is what I have to do every time I set it up. And this room wasn't set up as like a studio the way it is now. And so what I did was I got the Sony RX100 Mark V. That was the camera that had just come out at the time. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to focus on recording video. And I'm not going to use lenses. That camera doesn't have an external mic jack. I was like, I'm just going to use the internal audio. I'm just going to use window lighting. Like, cut out everything that was always making me, like hesitant to record. And I stuck with that camera for like 50 videos, and then I got the 6D Mark II. And at that point I was a little more comfortable with my channel, with what I was making, with how I wanted it to look, that I was like, okay, now I want some of that shallow depth of field. I want better audio. I want those kinds of things to come in. But the Sony RX100, like, that built the first 50 videos on my channel, honestly. Super chat. Woo. Thank you. Aris, I see your name in the comments all the time, and I don't know if it's Ari or Aris, but just know you're very generous for doing
Generous.
that. Generous. Thank you for everything. Love from Greece.
Awesome.
Yes.
Okay, Ben.
Greece, right?
No.
Oh.
Ben has this question that he's dying to ask.
If you didn't use the pod mic, what mic would you use?
I mean, it would just be that one.
It would probably be. I mean, I really like the Shure MV7.
Okay, first of all, you guys. Tom jumped on Clubhouse yesterday and finagled setup with the Blue Yeti in his iPad and just like headphones, took it to the kitchen table and was just going.
Well, because I went into Clubhouse just to like see a room, and then as soon as I got in there, it was Judah from TubeBuddy.
Pulled you up to the stage.
Oh, you're on stage. But I was like, crap, I'm on my iPad. I can't use a good mic here. What do I do? And then like just put the Yeti into the iPad and was like, cool, mobile Clubhouse setup. But I do really love the Shure MV7. However, one of the mics that I do want to talk about today, and maybe I'll switch over to the Shure SM57. I bought this in 2005, and then somebody on my channel recommended this big poofy windscreen, which honestly, with this setup, it doesn't look as slick, but you almost can't tell the difference in sound between this and an SM7B. And I actually really like the way that this sounds. Here, I'll set it up. Oh, crud, I forgot the little clampy thing. I'll just have to talk into it then. It's okay. We don't have to be fancy up in here.
I can hold it for you, babe.
Thank you, but I think I got it. Otherwise, it's going to feel like a news show. Tell me, how do you feel about 50,000? Okay, so I'm going to mute mine. Okay, so this should be working. Let me pop in my AirPods.
This is on?
Max. It should be.
Is this on? Is this thing on?
Let's see.
Douche.
Hello. I don't think it's on. Oh, it's muted. I was muted, but now it's on. So Heather.
Yeah. Hi.
How are you?
I'm great. Here's another question. Jack Stanford.
Okay. What's up, Jack? What is the right angle thing on the pod mic? Because I purchased the pod mic because of you, and the cable is already breaking. That is exactly it. So funny story, and I don't want to get too political, but the Shure SM57, specifically outdoors with this windscreen, is the microphone that the President of the United States has used since like the 70s or the 60s. It's just, which is interesting because it's not a stereotypical vocal mic. So regardless of who the president is, you can always spot SM57s on their podium, especially when they're outdoors with this specific windscreen. I was watching, I think it was when Biden was, it was one of his speeches after he was elected, and I noticed not only was it this, but they had these right angle brackets.
These ones.
Like this. On it, and I was like, oh, that looks way slicker, but also that means it's not going to put pressure
curve
on the cable. And I went on Amazon and I just looked for 90-degree.
Why don't you make a video about that?
Right, I don't know if I could do a whole video. It could be like a tips and trick video.
Yeah.
It's like $30 for a 2-pack, and
then your cables aren't going to break.
The cables aren't going to break, and it helps keep things a little neater. But I really like the way this mic sounds, actually. I don't have a cloud lifter or anything here, so it's a little low.
Someone asked, do you have a cloud lifter?
On the pod mics, I do. On this one, I don't, because we have the 2-channel cloud lifter, so I can only do 2 mics on
Also, I just want to tell you that multiple people have said that you inspired them to start their podcast.
That's amazing.
Which is so cool.
Please know how much that means to me if you tell me that, because...
I mean, that's why he does it. That's like...
Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. I'm so happy for you.
That's, yeah. Because it's my like biggest regret with YouTube and stuff, or anything, is just not starting earlier. And it sucks, because I literally, we were just talking about this on, I think, Alicio's podcast. I was talking about watching Caleb Pike, DSLR video shooter, back in 2010 when he was doing some of his earliest reviews. And I was like, this is so cool. I wish I could do that. And then I remember watching like Film Riot in 2011 or Dave Dugdale in 2012-ish. And like, I wish I could do that. And then it wasn't until 2017 that I finally clicked the like start button. And, you know, I'd listened to podcasts since 2009, but it wasn't until 2019 that I was like, I guess I could start a podcast. And this is the biggest regret. So if I can have any role in you deciding to just push the button and do the thing, I'm honored. But it's also all you for actually doing it. So.
Also, guys, if you are here hanging out, please give this video a thumbs up. Thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up.
She's very good at the marketing of things. So here, we can do a little switch. So this is the SM57 with the windscreen, and back to the pod mic with the windscreen and the cloud lifter. So the signal is a little hotter up in there. There we go here. Ron said he needs a 90-degree adapter for my boom pole. Really hard to rest it on the ground. And our dog Ben agrees. Oh, Mr. Camera Junkie, Luis says he's starting a podcast before the end of the month.
Nice.
So Luis is incredible because he was kind of in the similar boat to me where it's like, I want to do it. And he finally started, late 2020, late November, early December. And he's just been completely killing it on his channel.
Yeah, I'm so excited for you, man.
He streamed like every day in December, streams once a week. Definitely go check out Luis, not only for good info, but just also for like good company, good personality, good just enjoyment. Oh, Aaron Parecki's here. Aaron, I am glad and honored that you're here, because whenever I don't know something about the Ecamm Mini, which is a lot of things, I just tell people to go to your channel because you know everything about the Ecamm Mini and streaming. Aaron's setup is like NASA mission control for one person, and it's amazing. So thank you, Aaron. I appreciate that very, very much. Let's see here.
We have terrible internet.
Yeah, we have terrible internet, and
we just go with it.
Yeah, honestly, it's terrible. What I need to do is like go up in the attic and route like hardwire Ethernet cables to our studios and stuff, but I don't want to. So I didn't. Matt Day. Oh, I am honored, Matt Day. You managed to make videos that are super informative, but also entertaining and approachable. Stoked to see your channel. Thanks, Matt. And also congrats on everything you're doing. Matt does a lot of like photography and film stuff, and he's incredibly talented and incredibly knowledgeable and just an enjoyable guy to listen to and to read tweets from. So thank you so much, Matt. You made my day. There we go. Let's see here. Cybertron Studios. Because of Tom, I got inspired to have my Gear Talk podcast about music gear. Thank you. Oh, that's cool. Gear Talk is fun. Like, It's easy if you just watch like the YouTube thing because it's reviews and whatever the new thing is coming out. But it's really fun to actually just like essentially feel like you're sitting with your friends and just talking about.
Jawad, I'm
what
gonna
you
get
do.
your question answered.
Okay. Jawad, tell me what it is.
My last attempt to ask a question before I go to bed. I'm in Morocco. It's getting late here. GoPros with A10 Mini. Good idea.
If that's what you got, it will absolutely work.
There you go.
You just need, I think most of them have like a micro HDMI out. As long as you can get an HDMI source to the ATEM will take care of it. And GoPros are cool. I actually really love using GoPros. Not that I'm doing it today, but as like for live streams, overhead cameras or really wide angle shots, typically where like this shot would come in, but we just see the whole setup. I think it looks great. And it's absolutely better than the built-in webcam on a computer.
Do you really need a cloud lifter with the pod mic? No.
You don't.
Right?
You don't. And if you look up the video I did on my channel about do you need a cloud lifter, I bought one specifically to answer that question.
This is amazing.
It made just enough of a difference that I kept it. You don't need it. I do like it just because it adds a little headroom, but you don't need it. Techno Max, we watched a video from you in school,
like
and it was
so
our
cool.
inspiration. Wow.
You gotta tell your kids that.
Yeah, I know. They watch me in school. They don't even
You just
care.
gotta play with it, Jennifer.
What is the question?
Would you say a good length to speak away from the mic is about a fist away?
In general, yeah. It depends on your mic though, and how much
super
gain
chat
you
down
have.
here.
But definitely just experiment with it. Certain mics sound better the closer you get. I have a couple I want to switch to up here in a second. We got a super chat happening.
We got a super chat.
Wait, I want to hit the right button. There we go. Introvert, amateur, learning photo and video. Happy I subbed for listening to your podcast with Peter. Congrats on 50K again. Had the courage 3 months ago to start YouTube. Good. I'm so glad you got started. I'm glad you're enjoying the podcast. Peter and I are going to record one in the morning. By the way, Peter and I are recording in the morning. Yeah, it's tough to organize our schedules, but there we go. Armando Silvestri, I sat here for 2 days watching your videos. You made my decisions easier to stop watching my videos. I know what mic and camera to buy. Now trying to decide if should I the podcaster for video podcasts. I'm leaning to yes. I mean, get the best you can afford. That's usually it. It's the buy once, cry once thing. That's kind of where it goes. I've not used Rode's higher end like podcast mics, like the Procaster and the Broadcaster and the Rode names are infinitely confusing because they're all almost the same. But I've never used them. They always just sound great. Let's see here. I want to bring up William Bazan. Do you think you'll do microphone reviews? Yeah, I love mics. It's just a point of like, how many mics does a guy need? But I'm glad you brought up your question because this week people were almost upset that I was using the Shure MV7, which like I bought the mic to do a review on it. And now I want to use it because I paid for it. And the thing I don't like about it is it's $250, so I don't want it to just sit there. But I actually really like this mic. Let's see if we can switch over to it. Okay, now you can hear me here. I don't have a cloud lifter on this, so it's as good as it goes. I actually do really like the quality of this mic. This is the part I don't like, though. The pop filter that came with it. I'm sorry, but it's absolutely terrible. Where did I put it? Oh, the pop filter for the SM7B fits on it. Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
And then you don't have any more plosives. So then you got this mic right here, which I actually enjoy a lot. Have you ever thought of starting a virtual course or school?
Yes. Okay, so check it out. Tom is in production.
Sure.
It's very, very exciting. Yeah.
So here's the least salesy sales pitch I'll give. I've been a teacher for 10 years or 11 years. Too many years. A lot of years. And I love teaching my students. But public education is rough. And for every student who wants to be there, there are a few who are just not in it. And the idea of working with people who have some skin in the game and are there by choice is really appealing to me. And so before the end of this academic year, I'm going to have my first course release, which is going to be all about podcasting, or it's be all about audio podcast production specifically. And I'm super excited about that. And I have ideas for other ones, but to dip my toes in the water of online courses, that's the one I want to start with because I think it'll be the most helpful. So
So
if you want to get updates on when that's ready, you can go to, actually, I think there is a link in the description. I hope I hope there is. You can go to himynameistom.com, which is my website, /waitlist. And you can sign up for, it's not like a spammy thing. It's literally, I'll just send you an email when like, hey, got the first part done, second part done. Might even ask for some input on, would this be helpful or would this be helpful? And then I'll let you know as soon as it's out and released. But I want it to be something that's actually helpful. And when you go through it, if you follow the steps, you have an actual result. Like when you do a recipe, you're like, hey, if I do these things, then I end up with a pie or whatever. Hopefully you're trying to make a pie. I want the same thing to be true with the course where like you go through it. The goal is then you have a podcast episode that's literally all you have to do is push upload, push publish, and you're up and running. You've got a workflow established, and you're all set. And then I'd like to do more about like video podcasting and audio editing and live streaming and all the stuff that I am excited about. I would like to share that knowledge. Yeah.
Yes.
So yes, the answer is yes. I'm super excited about that, and it. So yeah, you can go to himynameistom.com/waitlist.
This is cool. We live stream our races, and I want to connect my Rodecaster to the PA.
Yes.
I think it's okay to connect the amplifier without hurting it.
I mean, don't hold me to this. Like if the whole thing explodes and we hear it from the other side of the planet or something, it's not my fault. But I think it would be fine.
This is super cool. Thanks so much for everything you've done during our pandemic is really bring our church online and reach out to our congregation.
You are welcome. It's so crazy how much media needs a church has.
Yeah.
This was pre-pandemic.
This is how we talk to people.
But now, I mean, congrats to you for figuring it out. Hopefully it's working well, and hopefully it's working well for your congregation and your community and everything. But I'm happy to be a part of it.
Super chat.
Wells. It's Connor Wells. Thank you so much. I just always appreciate your kindness and your support and all your comments and stuff like that. We're both doing great. We were talking yesterday. We did it. That's like yesterday was Saturday. We did sort of a Saturday edition of our live stream, the couples table yesterday, and we were talking about the pandemic and all those things. And overall, we're doing really well, and we almost feel guilty because we just get to live together and have fun, and it's nice. And yeah, but we almost feel guilty about that.
Yeah.
Oh, look, Ron has an answer for
connecting
the Rodecaster Pro, because Ron is a pro.
Rodecaster Pro.
And he says it has a line level jack outputs on the back. Take those into your PA and it should be fine. The only thing I'd worry about is feedback. Yeah, and again, just testing. Speaking of testing. Test 1 2 3. Back on the pod mic is me. Okay.
Tommy says that your DJ horn is slipping back in level.
Oh, that's probably because I'm over here. Yeah, that's probably over here.
This is a good question.
Do you invest in headphones as much as you do microphones? Okay. I have two answers to this question. One is, yes, I do think they're incredibly important. No, I don't follow that advice. I've always slacked it with headphones, which is stupid. Don't do it. I'm using these Apple earbuds, these old ones right here. They're not great for this. They do not give accurate sound at all, but at least let me monitor and they don't block out everything else. But this is where I really learned the error of my ways. I had been using Sony WCH700s, which are Bluetooth wireless headphones.
How do you memorize all these?
I don't know. I could be wrong. I just say numbers. And they're great. They work really well. I like them because you can plug them in so you can edit with no latency. They're also Bluetooth. They're fun. They get uncomfortable after a while, and the sound, again, not super accurate. So there's a YouTube channel. Called New Record Day.
New Record Day.
Basically, if you're into not necessarily audio production, but high fidelity audio music, if you're an audiophile, go check out New Record Day. Ron, who runs that channel, he lives in Arizona, and we kind of became buddies a while ago. Over Christmas, he sent me this pair of headphones here,
which Tom loves.
Oh my God. These are Mezzi 99 Neos. They're the nicest headphones I've ever had. They're unbelievably comfortable. They're super, the sound quality is super good, but it's also neutral. So I've noticed that the videos I've edited with these, the podcasts I've edited with these, sound better when they're done because the headphones are better. So yes, I think you should invest in good headphones. Plus, these are so comfortable, I literally forget I'm wearing them, which is funny because they're huge. So like I'll be like this sometimes and completely forget that I have these giant things on, because they are just that comfortable. So thank you, Ron. Again, I was just making a video with these today actually where I talked about him. So yeah, you should invest in your headphones. A good pair of headphones will also last you a really long time. I shouldn't have slacked it as long as
Do
I
I
did.
live stream?
You?
Yeah. Dean,
Oh, yeah.
I do. So Tom and I have a live stream podcast every week on my vlog channel, which is Heather Just Create. We live stream every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And then on my tutorial channel, I help people create their corner of the internet on YouTube. I'm a YouTube coach. That channel is called Heather Ramirez. It's just my name. And I live stream every Friday at noon Pacific Standard Time. So you can catch me live twice, but definitely like join us for the couples table. It's a lot of fun. Or this week we had a stream yesterday, but you can catch us on Thursday.
The couple table's fun because it's like not about any of the things we normally talk about on our channel.
Yeah, it's not about. Well, actually,
sometimes it is, but it's like it's a chance for us to sort of step aside and like
it's
be
just about
people.
life. Yeah,
Life, yo.
life.
Ivan, adios.
Bye.
Thank you for being here.
Oh, Dominic answered and Ron answered. You guys are awesome.
Yeah, see.
We also have a Discord server if you guys want to go check that out.
Oh, wait. Aaron Parecki says, I'm listening to the stream with my MacBook Pro built-in speakers, which are amazing speakers, and it makes all these mics sound the same. I've got a curveball for you.
Oh.
And it's called the newer NW800. Sorry.
You're like obsessed with this mic.
I am because it's so... Okay.
Yes, he's using the Rodecaster. He would never not. Always use this.
I think mine is broken because the way this mic has sounded in my videos, I've heard other people get better results from this.
Yeah,
this
maybe
is now
you got a dud.
This is literally the most popular video on my channel now, is this microphone. But I honestly don't care if I got a dud because...
That's
the buying
That's how you
experience is
got
I
it,
paid for
right.
it, and that's all I know.
Also, locker nuts.
That's
Super
nuts.
chat.
Okay. Love your vids. I learned a lot. I'm blown away at how clear this live feed is. I need to up my game, watch more of your vids, see how I can achieve that. I have a whole live streaming playlist on my channel that might be helpful for that. So this was a $25 microphone, at least when I bought it. I need to turn on phantom power.
You guys, so if you want to see someone step up their live stream, you can check mine out because I only started live streaming weekly for my tutorial channel on this past Friday was my second one, and Tom is helping me upgrade it like every single time. So the first time I did it, I just went live just with the YouTube interface. The second time I did it, I used Ecamm. And I set up my Canon M50 and like the mic was on a boom arm. And then the next time I'm going to try doing overlays. So just upgrading, trying to get better.
Speaking of upgrading,
Oh, is this the newer?
this is the newer microphone.
You don't have it? Oh, it's on the...
It's a side address microphone. Oh boy, good lord. Okay. I know it's peaking here. Yeesh. Let's just turn that down.
Oh my gosh, I love this
There we
question.
go. Okay, I'll try to answer it. I'm sorry if your question gets
I
answered.
have to go
with
get
this
like my
microphone.
glasses. I can't see.
Gugu? Gorgu. Sorry.
Go Gugu.
Gugu. Yeah, Gugu.
Gorgu?
I'm just
Wait,
so sorry.
who is that?
The Mandalorian.
I was like, we just heard that.
Hey there. I've seen a lot about the newer. What's your opinion on Blue Yeti?
I'd love to know this, okay? Because let me tell you what happened this 2 weeks ago. I love the Blue Yeti.
Yes, I want you guys to give your feedback to Heather on this.
I love the Blue Yeti. And then I felt like, and I'm not into tech or any of this, like, you know, fancy stuff. I think it's cool, but I don't really care. I'll just use what I got. And I heard the community kind of like bashing on the Yeti, and it made me self-conscious that I was using something that like has a bad rap or something. Does it?
So first, I just want to point out, Aaron said, "Oh, that's a sound." Yeah. So here to answer the question, I'm going to switch back to the pod mic. So prepare your ears for comfort. Ah, there we go. Wow. Because this was a question I want to address. What I want to do with the newer right now is poke around in the settings and see if we can actually get it to sound decent. But Heather's been using the Yeti. Here's the thing.
I love the. I mean, I love the
Every
Yeti.
time she uses the Yeti in a video, I always ask, and I know the answer, but instinctively I'm like, what microphone were you using? And she's like, the Yeti, the Yeti.
It's the only mic I have.
Even yesterday in her stream, it's like, it's positioned kind of far away out of frame.
I wish I would pull it closer, but it looks ridiculous on a boom arm. And
An upside down boom
yeah,
arm.
I can't have it like showing like this looks cool, but the Yeti looks a little awkward.
For $99, I think I love the Yeti, especially because there are other $99 USB microphones and under, of course. But the Yeti offers that, it has the option to be multi-directional, which is really, really cool. I think it comes with its own little stand. You can mount it on a boom arm. I think the Yeti is a great mic. I'm always happy with the sound it delivers. I don't use mine as much anymore, mainly because it's USB and I just don't use USB microphones very much, except yesterday when I jumped into Clubhouse and was on the iPad and the Yeti, because the MV7, here's one thing you won't be envious about. Even though it's a USB mic, it specifically does not work with iOS or anything like that, which is really annoying for $250, whereas the Yeti, plug and play. Like, it just automatically will pick up into anything. Because I would have loved to use this one, but the Yeti was the only one that worked. So I think the Yeti came out at a time when there weren't as many options. And, so everyone just kind of bought the Yeti just because that was the only option available. And now there's you can get the Rode NT USB Mini, you can get the Samson Q2U, you can get, very high-end mics. I still think the Yeti sounds good. And when Heather said that she felt a little like, oh, it seems like people, look down on it.
Yeah, like literally immediately. I was like, Tom, I want to borrow one of your pod mics. It's just sitting there anyway. Let me just take it. Which I would totally do because I really like how it looks on a live stream.
Pod mic's a good looking mic.
But it's an XLR, so now I need a whole separate situation, and I'm not about to get a Rodecaster Pro. I don't need that. Let me tell you do you see how much real estate that thing takes? I mean, it looks cool.
Okay, but if you broke it down into its individual parts, though, it would take up so much more.
I don't need it, yo.
Now we're going to come back to the sound over here.
Why are you going back to that thing?
Because I don't know. Because it's funny. Because I have actually heard people get great results with this mic. So here's something that I want to try to do. Oh, my God. Is jump into the audio processing on the Rodecaster. Let's jump into, we're going to turn on a little high pass. We're going to turn on.
How did you put the Blue Yeti with the iPad? You just plugged it in USB, right?
Yeah, I just used a USB-A to USB-C adapter.
Oh, both of us are on Clubhouse. Here's let me write down our thingy.
Yeah. I know I saw somebody had asked for like, hey, could you put links to all your stuff?
Oh, yeah. I tried to put it.
Yeah, I mean, my YouTube channel is simple. It's just every Thursday morning, and then random live streams that I try to schedule in advance. Heather's channels there's more stuff constantly, but it's
scheduled.
It's pretty scheduled, yeah.
Yeah. Couples tables every Thursday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time.
Oh, you sound really good when you got close to the mic right there. So table. I don't know if I can make the newer sound.
Join us for.
Turn that off and turn on the big bottom. The big bottom here. Okay, whoa, there we go. Now I got some bass happening up in here. Raphael said Heather used the MV7. Oh, yeah, you could use that as a USB.
Is that a USB?
Oh, you know what? The reason she didn't that day was because I had it here and I was using it on my classes. Yeah. I like using it with my classes a lot because the one negative with the pod mic on the windscreen is it's like from my point of view, it's a big black circle just in the way. And when I'm like teaching all day, it's kind of hard. The MV7 takes up less space. And so sometimes it takes up less visual space for me. But yeah, you could just use this. This would sound amazing with your voice. Let's try it right now.
Sure.
See, I learned from...
Sure. Sure. Look, I did a pun.
Oops.
I didn't mean to, but...
That's these names. You know what I'm really...
Also, can we talk about how there's 166 people here? That's insane.
I can't because I'll start sweating. But I'm happy.
Give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already, guys. Say hi.
Yeah, Heather, let's have you use the M.
All right, we're getting a new setup here. So this is a USB mic.
It's an XLR
oh, it's
and
both.
USB.
Okay.
That's
because the thing is... Okay, this is why I have to use USB mic. So I'm using the boom arm. That's like the blue one, but it has a USB wire in it.
No, it doesn't. It's the one where you can. This is the one that has the built-in wire.
Oh.
So the blue you could use with anything.
Oh, but I just don't have a thing that the XLR would plug into, which is
Exactly.
why. Okay.
Yeah. So here's this.
So what would you plug it into if you didn't have a Rodecaster?
You could use something like the Focusrite Scarlett, or you could use.
And then that has to plug into something else.
Your computer.
Oh my gosh! Come on.
I mean, that just goes to your computer.
Yeah, get the Blue Yeti, yo. You don't have to do any of it.
You could also use a more traditional mixer like this Yamaha.
Wait, what am I doing? Are you gonna put?
Here, so I'm going to switch over. Heather is going to be on. Now you're on the shore.
Oh, it's already plugged in.
Yeah.
Okay, so
You don't have to do anything. We should be able to. Oh, wait. I got to turn off phantom power. Sorry. Uh-oh.
What's this?
Oops. I'm going to turn off all the processing I did for the other mic. And sorry, I'm pushing buttons. Boom. And there we go. You should be good now.
Am I good?
Okay, yeah. We can hear you. We can hear
Wow,
you.
someone's from Transylvania.
You know.
Oh, I like this question. Wait.
Oh, that's what I wanted
How's
to come
this
back to.
sound?
No, you sound great.
Yeah?
You have a voice, like I was telling Heather yesterday, I was literally trying to like explain by drawing diagrams of like audio frequencies. I was like, your voice hits the mid like perfectly. It just sounds good on every mic.
Welcome to the Tom Buck live stream. Why do you use Buzzsprout instead of Anchor, Tom?
Wow. So that's a great question because I have a video all about why Anchor is great. And then I switched to Buzzsprout. So let me explain. And I have a video all about switching podcast hosts. First, Anchor is terrific. If you're just starting out especially, I recommend everybody go to Anchor because it's free. You can get everything set up and running. It's free forever. So, and it's so easy to switch podcast hosts later on. It's not like YouTube where you're like, oh my gosh, my whole channel is here. I can never go to another platform. Not that there really is a competitor to YouTube. But anyway, so I recommend Anchor. I switched to Buzzsprout because I got to know the people that run Buzzsprout a little bit, like Kevin, one of the founders, and Albin, one of the like marketing people, and a couple other people from their team. They reached out to me at the beginning of last summer, and they were like, we think you'd be a good fit. Here's a free Buzzsprout account. So they did give me free access to Buzzsprout. But they were like, check it out, see if you like it. Maybe you'd want to host a podcast there. If not, no pressure. And I was like, okay. It wasn't like make a video or anything like that. And that was right when Peter Lindgren and I were starting our podcast. And one thing I like about Buzzsprout a lot is you can have multiple managers of a show. Mm-hmm. So with our separate emails, we can log in and manage a show. And Heather and I host the couples table there. We kind of do the same thing. So like Peter and I especially, Heather and I are one room apart, but Peter and I are, the other sides of the planet. And so like I can upload the audio. He can upload the episode artwork. I put in the title. He's much better at doing like clickbaity, interesting titles. So he goes in and fixes it. And that's really nice. I love that.
And you can do audiograms.
You can do visual sound bites. So if you've seen on any of my social media stuff, I'll post, it's like a cover of the podcast with like the waveform of a snippet. You can do minute-long audio things. And you do have more access to your statistics, especially with Apple. So if that's a big deal for you, that's important. But the reason I really went for the switch, because I spent 6 months before I actually moved over like my podcast to them, because I really wanted to understand it, is I got to know their philosophy behind why they do what they do. And the whole team at Buzzsprout, they've been doing it since 2009, I think, maybe even earlier. And they're like genuinely passionate about podcasting. That's a good plosive test. Passionate about podcasting. And they're really big on keeping podcast open for everybody. That's been one of the strengths. And since podcasting like became a thing, was that you just need that RSS feed and it'll show up on every platform. The thing about Anchor, and this is all personal opinion. So let me, like, if I was better with Ecamm, I would put the little disclaimer scroll at the bottom. Personal opinion. Anchor is owned by Spotify. I enjoy Spotify. I've been subscribed forever. Spotify has been making moves lately to really like dominate the podcasting space.
I think that they're trying to take over, like be the next YouTube.
For just with video even?
Just like content.
Well, I think they're trying to be the YouTube of podcasting. And in a way, it's like, who cares? You can still listen to podcasts anywhere else. But what you're seeing is they're already pulling big names for exclusive shows on their platform. So now to hear those shows, you have to listen on Spotify. My little crystal ball, which is just my thought, is down the line, Spotify has a lot of music and a lot of podcasts. That's just too much for one subscription. Now you need Spotify Music and Spotify Podcasts or whatever as a set. I just see it being broken off. These things are secluded over here. It's not on this other thing. And it's like, I don't need another streaming service. This is all conjecture, of course. But what I don't want is you own this one podcast. I want, if I like listening on Apple Podcasts, which I actually don't, because Apple Podcasts, the app is like terrible.
It's so bad.
But some people love like Overcast, or if you do like Spotify, or if you want Google or Amazon or whatever you listen to your podcasts on, I want everybody's podcast to be available on those things. Long story, ridiculously long. Anchor being owned by Spotify just falls in line with that philosophy, whereas Buzzsprout is free, open, independent podcasting. And that's why I decided to move over, was I was just more in line with the philosophy of them. But Anchor is an amazing tool. Anchor also it makes it super easy to do voicemail messages and stuff. And if you are interested in monetizing your podcast, Anchor lets you do it like right off the bat.
Easy.
Super easy integrations and stuff. So
ad reads and stuff.
Anchor does a lot of good things. I still recommend it for people starting out, again, because it is free and you can still use all the other platforms with Anchor. Long story long, but that's why felt I owed an explanation there.
Scott says Heather should steal this mic from Tom because it sounds good.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I mean, do you use it for class?
I use it sometimes. I've been using the pod mic more and more. I like,
I put the wrong comment on.
I go through fads where just like with, like with food, if I find a food I like only eat that food for like a week or two and then I never eat it again. I eat something else. Same thing with microphones. I'm like, I want this one. I'm only using this for everything. And then I just like switching. I love microphones. So I just switch back and forth between them. I don't know about this one though. This one, the thing
the
about,
dud.
I don't know that it's I just have mixed feelings, but it looks really pretty. And so I put it in this cabinet behind me because it shows up sometimes in the background of my videos and it looks really pretty. And I've heard people do really cool things with it. And I think for $20, $25, that's awesome.
I need to stand for...
Yeah, for your Apple Watch. Don't worry.
I will be right back.
I can take control over here.
I will be back in a minute.
How many days is this?
Oh, I don't know, 150?
If you don't know, because you don't follow Heather, she has been, not with a starting intention, but she's been exercising for at least, 30 minutes to an hour a day? Every day for upwards of 150 days now, which is amazing, but hasn't missed any.
Since August.
Since August, yeah. Let's see. Celedonio Gracia says, is the Shure MV7 less gang hungry than the pod mic? Yes, it is. For sure. And if you plug it in via USB, it works just like any other USB mic. Let's see here. Aaron said +1 for open podcasting. I'm not a fan of how Spotify is trying to turn it into a closed system, which is kind of a bummer because like I've always really liked Spotify and their algorithms for like doing your daily music mixes and stuff. Man, they're so good. I've discovered so much good music through Spotify. I stuck with them over Apple Music in the great streaming wars of 2018 or whatever. And now it just kind of makes me sad that they're trying to be so aggressive about podcasting. Ron, I don't know what you're saying, but you said I'm right. So let's see. I would have been worried about this too. Spotify definitely making moves in the direction of closing down the open podcasting landscape. The reason I'm so passionate about that is because podcasts are one of the last places that really feel like the original internet, or at least the original like content sharing internet, where it was like, people had their weird websites for the thing they were excited about and it was kind of done their way. Podcasting still feels like that a little bit. And I don't want that to go away because the rest of the internet has sort of moved on into like a different phase. And I don't know, the accessibility of podcasting is something that is near and dear to me.
Is this the MV7?
That's the MV7.
I keep forgetting. Yeah. Okay.
I really like that mic.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
It's okay. Plus, you know what? Plus, if you use it via USB, then you get to use all these nifty little touch controls on it, which are pretty fun. So you can mute it. You can change the volume right there. It's fun stuff.
Cool.
Let's see here. What are we going?
Where else do you live stream with the Rodecaster Pro?
Well, actually, I don't know if it counts as live stream, but I do all of my classes all day, every day through the Rodecaster. So that's all on Zoom through Ecamm. And
Still do you have a video of this?
That involves the Rodecaster playing a whole bunch of sounds, and then I do it through FaceTime calls. I do it through wherever else. Anytime I'm using audio, it's pretty much being run through the Rodecaster. And what I got distracted by was somebody asked, do you have a video on how to use the Rodecaster Pro on Zoom? I do. Basically, like, you do need to watch the video. But if you don't watch the video, as soon as you plug the Rodecaster in, actually I literally made this video this morning, so it's not done yet. As soon as you plug it into your computer, it will show up as an audio source in anything. So it's plug and play, Zoom, FaceTime, Skype, Ecamm, StreamYard, OBS, whatever. Rodecaster will show up both as an input and an output. So that's really all there is to it. In Zoom, it literally just shows up right in your audio options.
This one I've seen him ask a few times.
Oh, any tips for podcasting with lavaliers and Audacity? I haven't had the audacity to use Audacity yet. But I know like it's got such a good following. The biggest thing with lavaliers, though, regardless of what you're using them with, is positioning them. You know, because you can just clip them, but you want to make sure they're not rustling up on clothes. Because I've heard podcasts where people are doing lavaliers, which is kind of cool.
And you can hear the...
Well, I've thought about it, though, because it's neat. Because then you really are just, like, hanging out and talking. There's no boom arms and mic stands.
Distracting, too.
Yeah, but it does sound weird. And if it's rustling on the clothes and stuff like that.
Be careful.
And it can be kind of weird sometimes if you run it up under your clothes. Or, like, you can literally, like, tape it to the person in a certain way that makes it... Peter Gregg, go check out his YouTube channel.
Oh, is that what he does?
He has a video all about how to fold tape specifically and like tape it in a way where it's not gonna move. But then you are like you're using that same mic on like different people's skin, which is weird. So I don't know.
Which is weird. This one.
Mark Mangano, when would you push someone to Elgato streaming hardware versus the Ecamm Mini? I was just thinking about this the other day. Did I make a video about it? Oh, I did. I did make a video about it. I was like, why was I talking about this? The Ecamm Mini, and Aaron can correct me if he's still here and if I'm wrong. The Ecamm Mini's biggest downside, which doesn't matter to me at all, is that it is 1080p only. And a bunch of Elgato stuff like the Cam Link can take a 4K signal. So if you really want to stream and you have the ability to stream in 4K, that's where the Ecamm probably won't suit your needs, and you would need to go to Elgato or even some of the other Blackmagic options. Like Blackmagic has 4K options. It's just not the Ecamm Mini lineup currently. So that's really the biggest reason. And the Cam Link, of course, for simplicity's sake, like, where's my Cam Link? Here. I mean, this is it. Yeah, so if you're just doing one camera...
I like this thing. I'm a fan of simple.
Yeah, I mean, there's no external power needed. There's nothing.
Yeah,
it also runs audio, so if you can literally plug a mic into your camera. I've even run the Rodecaster into my camera, Cam Link, and then you can select it as an audio and a video source in your software. $100. I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer if you're doing streaming stuff. So simplicity's sake, higher resolution sake. If I'm wrong, though, I'm happy to admit it.
Here, what's this?
Mike says, I know this is a mic conversation.
Woo, woo, woo,
have you used the 14 to 24 millimeter lens with the Glide Gear? I've used the 14 to 24 and I own the Glide Gear, but I've never used them together. I do use the Sigma, this lens, 24 millimeter on the Glide Gear all the time on a full frame camera. That's as wide as I would go on that prompter with full frame, because beyond that, you're going to start getting the edges and stuff. But that's on a full frame camera. If you're on a crop sensor camera, you might be able to get away with 14 to 18 millimeters on there. Ocean Life Academy.
What was the first mic you ever purchased and what year?
Oh, I remember this. I'm sad that
Tom has like a very weird memory.
Yes, Tom is weird. That's what we've learned today. No, the very first mic I ever purchased was... Sorry, I just remembered. I did buy like a really weird cheesy mic from Radio Shack in like middle school, but I don't think that counts. The first like legit mic that I thought I spent money on, it was in high school. It was an Audio Technica shotgun mic for my Sony Handycam. I wish I could remember the name of it, but I remember the closest Best Buy to us growing up was like an hour away, and I was like 14 and I had saved up a bunch of money, and we went to Best Buy, got the thing, and I remember like being in the back seat of the car and like opening it up. And Audio Technica mics, if you ever bought them, they always come in these really nice little cases, and it's all laid out in like foam. They still do to this day. And I remember opening up the mic and like seeing the mic and the windscreen and the little mounts. I think it was like a $50 microphone. It wasn't a high-end mic really. Maybe it was $70. And I was just like blown away that this thing was here for me to use and plug into my Sony Handycam.
I like the idea of Clubhouse, where you can invite people to participate. Saw today that the app asks to find and connect to devices on your local network. Why though?
I don't know. We're relative newbies to Clubhouse. If Mr. Camera Junkie Luis is still here, he's like Mr. Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Sorry, our dog Ben is also he's talking on Clubhouse right now. He's gonna be in the doghouse. I'm just kidding.
Do you ever use wireless lapel mics for live streaming?
For live streaming,
I mean, you don't because you don't have to, right?
Yeah, I don't have to. I have used the Rode Wireless Go with the Rodecaster Pro, and it works great.
Is a cloud...
Oh, wait. Do the built-in preamps in the Rodecaster boost the S? No, they don't. With the SM7B, I think Cloud Lifter 100% is a must. That's a super gain-hungry mic. You can use it without it, totally, but you're not going to get like the quality you're looking for out of that mic without a Cloud Lifter, which is important to remember if you don't have one because the mic's $400. The basic Cloud Lifter is $150. You could get like a Fethead or a Dynamite or whatever. I think it's $100, but the price of the mic then does go up. Just important to remember. Let's see. Craig Christensen. I have 2 Rode Pod mics because of you. Yes. Now using the Rode Video Mic NTG. Where is it? Oh, wait. I could have just done this. Boop. Here's my Video Mic NTG. I love that thing. And that's also a USB mic. I'm glad you're liking those, Craig. CJ, I'm considering taking my podcast to YouTube. Do you have any?
One.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, you gotta read up here, babe.
Sorry. I'm bad at reading, but...
Does your school district use Zoom or are you using it by choice? I'm using Google Meet to teach my school district and I'm running into issues with my Ecamm Mini and Rodecaster Pro.
Okay. One, what issues are you running into? I've never used Google Meet, but maybe I could help you out. Our district mandated that we use Zoom, which I'm okay with because even though it mutilates the audio and video on the other end, now I've gotten pretty good at Zoom.
Dun, 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 dun.
And CJ was saying, I'm considering taking my podcast to YouTube. I would say video podcasting is real specific to what you're doing and what your goals are. I have a lot of feelings about video podcasts, whether or not it's worth the effort. If you're doing your podcast to YouTube, make sure it's also available in audio formats elsewhere. So I would say either do only audio or audio and YouTube. I wouldn't recommend doing a podcast that's YouTube only because it feels like you're not going to get the bang for your buck out of that. I don't know what's going on out there. So that's the answer to that one.
A bassier.
Let's see here. Tariq Yusuf. Hi, I'm just starting out in the world of podcasting. Thanks for all the info. I'm going with the pod mic over the Shure MV7. Can you get a bassier sound post-production? Well... let's put that bass in your face. Let's see here. So this is my mic right now. Well, you might not be using the Rodecaster, so this might not be relevant, but jeez. Audio processing, I'm going to add in... Oh, wait, I messed this all up earlier. Give me 1 sec here. I was making a video where I was purposely making something sound bad.
Do you prefer Preston's here? Hi, Preston.
Preston!
Do you prefer using the Elgato Cam Link or the Canon app for using your camera as a webcam? Either.
Well, now that I've added all the bass to this pod mic.
Wow, the desk is vibrating.
So the answer is yes, you can add in the bass. We'll just turn that off though. So yes, you can EQ the pod. The pod mic has a very neutral sound, which I like, so you can kind of make it be whatever you want. Let's see, what was the question?
Elgato Cam Link or Canon app?
Cam Link. So I made a video. It's not out yet. Actually, you haven't seen it yet. I need to share it with you. It's all about Canon EOS webcam utility, which is amazing. The two downsides, the biggest downsides to webcam utility are resolution. It's only 576p. So it's not even 1080, which luckily actually doesn't look that bad. It's not as bad as you would think, but it is definitely not 4K like the Cam Link, and it has like I don't know what is happening outside, and it has a bit of
Peter's
stuttering. There we go. So there's that. Oh, Peter, what's up? 2 of my favorites in the same frame, just about to sleep.
Hi,
but
Peter.
had to pop
Good
on, say
night.
hi. Yes, we talked about that we're recording our show tomorrow. I'm looking forward to it. I don't have work tomorrow, so I can actually record on a Monday.
This desk mat, Amazon. Just search for mousepad mat.
Yeah, I don't know. I really like
It's
it
not
though.
like a brand or anything.
I mean, I'm sure it is a brand, but it was like $13.
Here, you can scroll. Let me go check what's happening.
Okay, we might have intruder alerts happening here. Darwin Sordo, I got the Rodecaster Pro because of you. I'm so glad you like it. I get these messages sometimes where people are like, I got the Rodecaster Pro, and I'm always like scared that the second half is going to be like, you made me waste my money, which has literally never happened though. So I guess that speaks to the Rodecaster. Can you recommend some wireless clip mic to hide the ones for, well, see the thing, if you're looking for wireless transmitter and receiver, I don't think you can really get decent for less than the price of the Rode, which is $200 for the wireless Go, because the regular ones prior to that, I mean, it's $500, $600, $700 for a wireless system. But you could get something like the Zoom. It's not the, what is it? The F1. Zoom now makes a little, and a couple other companies too, little tiny recorders that are like super duper small. You can plug a mic into them. They're not wireless transmitters, but you can clip it to your person, hit record, they can do their thing, and then you can take that audio and edit with it later. And those are right around the $100 price range, not including the microphone. So there we go. Mobility Studio says someone's breaking in. Literally, it's like, I'm sure like a kid is riding a tricycle 3 blocks over is probably what's happening. Rob is using an SM7B with a FET head and love it. Yeah, the SM7B needs a gain amp. It just does. But then it sounds real nice afterwards. Let's see here. What was happening outside? Updates.
The neighbor's dog is just going nuts.
Oh, it was dogs on dogs. Let's see here. Oh, look. Luis answered the question. He said his Clubhouse did not ask that. I don't know why. My thought was that it was so you could transition from like iPhone to iPad easily, but I don't know. I just started with no on everything, but Clubhouse is really fun.
Did you do the super chat already?
Oh, I didn't see the super chat. Let's do it right now. There we go. $4.99 from Luke. 1, 2, 3, 4. Should I get the Mac Mini or wait because of the Bluetooth connection issues?
Oh, you got 2.
Well, let's jump here I have bad times. I need to be present, right? Because I always like do too many things at once.
Here we go.
The Mac Mini. I haven't had issues with it. People have been talking about it. I haven't had issues with the Mac Mini. For the price, I just got the base model, 8 gigs, 256 gig hard drive, $700. It was just like literally available for pickup at Best Buy. I can't recommend it enough. I already had wireless keyboard, mouse, external display, so I didn't have to buy any of that stuff. I did buy the dock and I did buy an external hard drive. Totally recommend it. I know that especially with Apple, like the second version of the M1 chip, and if you saw some rumors about like the new MacBook Pros that they think are going to come out this year, I know that that's going to be even leaps and bounds above this one. But this thing's amazing. And if you're doing podcasting, streaming, the reason that it's amazing, or any of the M1s, is because they're silent. I literally got to the point where I had to hide my MacBook under the desk when I was going to record audio because it was too ridiculous. And like I recorded, Peter was here. Peter and I did an interview with Gerald Undone a couple weeks ago. And Peter had good audio with his Rodecaster. Gerald had like the cleanest audio I've ever heard. And then my audio, which was this setup, sounded like I was at an airport because it would be like Peter talking, Gerald. And it took me like so long to process that out so it sounded decent that this thing never makes a sound no matter what. And I love it. So thank you for the super chat. Let's jump to Hey Archer.
Hey Archer. Bop, 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 bop. Sorry. We need a dad joke counter in the videos. Happy Sunday.
So thank you so much. If you haven't checked out Hey Archer, go check out his channel. He does a lot of videos and a lot of streams. I learned a lot about speed boosters from him specifically. And I feel bad that you super chatted me because I know you've also spent a lot of money because of my recommendations. So I'm sorry.
There's a lot here.
There's a lot.
Like to catch up on.
Okay, let's do it.
Okay, so let's see. Can you recommend some wireless clip mic to hide on an actor?
Oh, we did that one when we were talking about
cool.
Ben. Yeah.
Did you say boom arm? Bros, how much is the mic you're using right now? I guess you didn't.
Oh, how much is the mic using? These are $100. The pod mics are $100. This is $250. The MV.
Mahal kita. I don't know what the rest of that says because I don't speak Filipino.
But you can understand it.
This is Tagalog.
Oh.
Ang asawa ko panood din. I think.
I like Heather. Heather will randomly, because Heather sounds like Heather, but randomly she will just speak in a Filipino accent sometimes, or just say one word like around the house.
Okay, what would you recommend for people that like to talk super loud? Yeti blows out.
Wow, that's crazy if the Yeti's blowing out no matter what.
Yeah, move it further.
I mean, then you might get echo from the room, but that's even if the gain's all the way down, that's crazy. I mean, I don't have anything. If you use an XLR mic, you'll probably have more room to go lower. So maybe trying out almost any XLR mic.
What do you think about using the pod mic with an analog mixer?
I've done it. I have a video where I do that with my Yamaha mixer down here. It works pretty well, but it's not as clean as with the Rodecaster. Maybe it was just the preamps in my mixer. But
I'm a high school teacher. I cannot see what I am presenting to my students, and I cannot hear them when I have my ATEM MIDI and Rodecaster on. When using Google Meet, they can see and hear me.
That is one of the benefits of using something like Ecamm or even OBS for free, or if you're on Windows.
And then use that as an input.
Yeah, because you can run all your stuff through Ecamm or through OBS, which is just a little more complicated, but it's free. And then you can see everything. You're in charge of everything, and then you
have
know what they're
your
saying.
Ecamm Zoom setup.
I have a video.
So watch that video. It's the same thing, except Zoom would just be Google Meet.
It should be, yeah. It should. I'm trying to think of the listing of the things. I think Google Meet is there. Cybertron Studios.
What would be the closest equivalent or competition to the Rodecaster?
The closest one would be the Zooms, like the P8 or the P4. The P8 is an 8-track podcasting thing, which Zoom's naming is like so stupid. I'm sorry. I know Rhodes is confusing, but Zoom literally came out with a product called the H8. The hate? Are you serious? And it also, I hated the design of it because it looked like a weird alien thing. But I know Zoom makes good stuff. Anyway, the P8 I think is slightly less expensive than the Rodecaster, and the P4 is only $200, and it has 4 inputs, and it's supposed to have, I haven't used it myself, but it's supposed to have 72 decibels of gain, which would mean, in theory, you wouldn't need a cloud lifter, even with a gain-hungry mic. But I haven't used that myself. They don't have all the same features. Zoom products, I guarantee, do not have the durability. This is the decade of experience. Zoom products, in my personal experience, deliver great audio quality, like really good audio quality, and bad build quality. Every Zoom product I've ever used has like fallen apart in a weird way, even if it's just like the SD card door coming off or something weird happening. I've never had that with a Rode product. And
we have 2 super chats. Here
whoa!
we go.
Biggie's Restorations. Have you tried Hindenburg Audio? I have not, because I don't want everything to crash. Actually, I'm sorry. I don't even know what Hindenburg is. I just wanted to make that kind of terrible joke too soon, maybe. I haven't tried
Family Vlog.
Harrison Family Vlog. Small support from a fellow educator and aspiring podcaster. I appreciate that, and I think sooner rather than later you should go from aspiring to practicing podcaster.
Oh, we got another one.
$2.99 from Colin. Thank you. I appreciate it. You're welcome. I appreciate the super chat.
So we have to catch up. Sorry.
Do we have to mustard well? I was relishing this conversation.
Oh my gosh.
Sorry.
Do you want to take this one?
Sure. Rob values. I value your question. I hope I don't rob you of your time. I have the M1 Mac Mini with the Rodecaster Pro direct into it with Big Sur, and it keeps losing. Really? I don't have any thoughts because I'm running that exact same setup with no issues. Okay, only thought maybe a cable. I don't know if you're running it directly into the back of the Mini or into an adapter. Where's mine going? Because the Mini has 2 USB-C ports, and one of them is my ATEM Mini because I just want that direct into the computer, no adapters. The other one is my USB-C hub. My Rodecaster is going into one of the USB-A ports with a cable that's just a USB-C to USB-A cable. So if it's not plugged directly into the computer, it's running through like an adapter or something, maybe get a cable that will let you run it directly into the computer. Otherwise, I don't really know because I haven't had that problem.
NT2?
I love you. I love your videos. Your videos are so helpful and interesting. Do you have an NT2 mic? If you have, what do you think about it? I'm assuming you mean the Rode NTG2. I have them at work, and I use them there all the time. I think it's pretty dang good. It's a great little shotgun microphone. I think there are probably better shotgun microphones out there if you want something that's going to really pull audio from far away. But the NTG2 is a great mic. It can run off one AA battery or phantom power. We talked about Caleb Pike earlier. Last month, maybe in November, he did a video where he took like every shotgun microphone in the world and did a comparison. So you might want to go check out his channel and see sort of where things fall. I believe the NTG2, or at least a similar mic, is there. Luis, Mac Mini M1 runs iOS apps. Thought of using it for...
Wait, what?
Wait, Luis. Where is it? Here we go. That's the sound of my mind being blown because you just blew my mind. The M1 chips can run iOS apps. Clubhouse is an iOS app, which means you could run it on the computer. In theory, you could run on the computer and just use the same setup. Wow. That would be great.
When would you upgrade?
Introvert amateur. I'm currently using the Rode Micro and I'm happy with it. At which point would you upgrade along the road? No, that's not a stupid question at all. That's a great question. Because it's so easy to get caught up in gear land because gear is fun and gear can make a difference. But I think what you said is perfect. You're using it and it seems to be suiting your needs. What I always tell people to do and what I try to remind myself to do is use what you have and upgrade as your needs become apparent. Because you could take like literally everything that I have in my room and it might work for you, but there might be parts of it where you're like, this is a total hassle. I mean, even Heather, like if I were like, here's a Rodecaster and this, that, she'd be like, this doesn't work for me. I don't like it.
It's just adding friction to the process for me.
Yeah. And for me, it removes it, even though it's literally the same thing. So if what you're using is working, use it literally until it breaks. And if it never breaks, never upgrade. If, though, you start to decide like, maybe I want to bring in more than one audio source. Maybe I want a mic that can double up as something else, like the video mic NTG is a USB mic and a shotgun mic and a regular microphone. As you keep doing what you're doing, your specific needs are going to show up. If you're in a really bright room, your lighting needs would be different than if you're in a really dark room. Whatever it might be, like, you're going to figure out where your pain points are and then what you're going to need to resolve those. So I would just do that. Work with what you got until something about it doesn't work for you anymore, and then shift to solve that problem. That's my recommendation.
Can you say what these mics are again?
Which
and how
one?
much they are?
Oh, because we're using different ones. This is the Rode Pod mic. It's $100 and it has the Rode WS2 windscreen on it, which is $20. So technically it's a $120 combo. This is the Shure MV7, which is $250, but it has the windscreen from the SM7B, which was $14. Because the windscreen that comes with the MV7 is borderline unusable. It sucks.
What level's your pod mic set at on your RCP?
Right now, both of them are about 7 notches from the bottom. I forget like what Unity is on the Rodecaster. I think it's 5. And then the gain is set to plus 35, and the Cloud Lifter is there too.
The Rodecaster. Oh, the Rode Procaster.
The Rode Procaster mic.
Is that really?
It's a different. Yeah, they have the Broadcaster, the Podcaster, the Procaster, the Pod mic, the Rodecaster.
Okay, you got to do a camera shout out again because people keep asking.
I'll do that. Let's talk about the Procaster. It sounds amazing every time I hear it. I love it. I've just never used one. So, hey, Rode, if you want to send me your high-end mics, I'll take them. Cameras. Let's talk about cameras again. We're using
You can find these on Amazon. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. The cables, the brand is Dreamake. Like remake, but with a D at the beginning. Dreamake. And they're fine. They're kind of subject to interference, and one of them did... I have like 5 of them. One of them did totally fail at one point.
But they look cool.
But they look great on camera. And that's all that matters, right? So this is the EOS R. Actually, these are both the EOS R. This is EOS R with Sigma 24 1.4. This is EOS R with Sigma 18 to 35, running into the Metabone Speed Booster, which makes that lens now a 1.4 lens. But both EOS Rs. So that's to answer your question. Kelton Tom, how can I give you my high school media teacher? You just got to go move to our community. But here's the thing, though, is sign up for courses or watch my videos.
Go to himynameistom.com/waitlist, And Tom is in development of his first online course about podcasting. So
Yeah, and I have multiple course ideas. Some of them are more in-depth. Obviously, those would be a little more higher price. And then some are shorter, quicker. Those would be much more accessible. And then, of course, my YouTube channel is like free.
how do you
free.
not have echo when you're teaching?
Oh, great question. Depending on what you're using, in the Rodecaster Pro, I turn on USB mix minus, which will eliminate the echo. Sometimes, like we were using Ecamm Live, and we had noise cancellation turned on Ecamm, and it was like making our audio go bonkers. So we turned off noise cancellation. But yeah, making sure it really has to do with what your inputs and your outputs are just has to do with what your inputs and your outputs are. If you're using the Rodecaster, make sure you have USB mix minus turned on. It's in the menu in the advanced audio settings.
Which hub are you using for the Mac Mini?
That's a great question. It's a gray one. You know what? This is actually, if you don't mind, I'm just gonna look this up real quick because there are a lot of these and they're kind of confusing, and I had a hard time finding it. So if I can solve that problem for anyone here, I think that would be great. Let's go to orders. I don't know, the mouse is being weird.
Yeah, because your mouse sensitivity is like 0.1.
You know, I just need to be present in the moment, dear. It gives me time.
I literally have to drag the mouse all the way across.
That's why I got this big old mouse pad.
So ridiculous.
Let's see here. It is what brand is it? Hagibis? You know, Hagibis. Heard of it? I'll put a link to it right here. It's this one. Boop, in the chat. So that should pop up there. And that's the one I was using. Sorry, I didn't mean to take the...
Okay. Let's see. Also, if you guys are just tuning in, make sure to give this video a thumbs up.
Yeah. I'm going to steal a line from Peter Gregg. If you don't like this video, make sure to hit the thumbs down twice to really show me you don't like it.
Wait, I forgot. I lost my place.
Uh-oh. People are saying the P8 is $499. Oh, so that's $499. Yeah, so it's $100 cheaper. I mean, it's just going to be hard for me to recommend anything besides the Rodecaster after using it for like 2 years at this point too. Like, it's just never failed.
I've never used XLR. I was thinking about a Scarlett Solo, Cloudlifter, and an SM7B. Do you have any other recommendations or anything else?
That'll get you going. And that's probably the cheapest way. If you want to get going with an SM7B, that's probably the cheapest way to do it. So you can't go wrong with the Scarletts. Think about where you might want to go in the future. If you know that it's just going to be you and you are going to be solo, that's a good setup. If you think you might want to add in another person at any point, maybe look at the Scarlett 2i2, so that way you have two inputs. But to just get started with that, I mean, start there, do what I said a minute ago, use it until you max it out, and then you'll know what you need if you need something like a Rodecaster or not or whatever.
Follow up on the Rode Micro. That one doesn't need a battery. What are pros and cons of that?
The pros of that are that it doesn't need a battery.
Yeah.
The cons are that it's going to need more gain from whatever source you have. If you have that connected to something like a Rodecaster or a mixer, it's not an issue at all. If you have it connected to a camera, which is what it's made for, it's usually not an issue. But if your camera has a crummy preamp, then you're going to get hiss and fuzz and stuff.
Fellow teacher, been working
Yay.
on live streaming sports for our high school. Any thoughts on athletic graphic overlays, trying to up the quality?
Yes.
Get one of your students to do it.
Yeah, get one of your students to do it. The answer to this question is coming from one of my students. So
yeah.
Shout out to you, Miguel. But we did this before, and he was just using... So
OBS.
there's 1,000 ways you could do it, obviously through like Ecamm and different apps. So the cheapest way we did it, because if you're working at the school, I'm guessing cheap is the way to go, OBS. What we did was he made PNG images in Photoshop to do like the graphics and stuff. And then when you load it into OBS, you load it as like, score1.png, and that's what's going into OBS. You can have Photoshop open. I'm just working under the assumption you have Photoshop. You can have Photoshop open and like literally change the score
As
and then
you're going,
overwrite the file, like the same name, score1.png, overwrite the file, and without you having to do anything in OBS, it will automatically change because it's still pulling just whatever that file is.
Mm-hmm.
And so he came up with that idea, and then just during the thing, he was just kind of manning OBS and keeping an eye on the score or keeping an eye on names or notices or whatever, and was just updating the graphics.
That was crazy.
Yeah, I mean, it is amazing. You have to find, like, obviously, like,
The kid needs to know how to.
he had a passion for that.
He asked to do it.
Yeah. But even if a student doesn't know how to do it and you kind of teach them how to do it and they're into it, they have to be into it. If they're not into it, you can't force a kid to do it because, oh my God, you just want to pull your eyes out with a spoon.
Would you always use the Rodecaster Pro instead of going into Ecamm 3.5 millimeter jacks for audio with Ecamm?
I mean, you don't have to. I do because I have the Rodecaster, so I'm going to use it. You know, I'd feel silly if it's just sitting there. But, you know, especially with the ATEM, yeah, just pop in a mic directly into the ATEM. I've done that with the video mics. It works great. It's a nice, simple, clean setup. I love it.
What classes do you teach on Zoom?
I teach all of my high school classes, which are, there's a broadcasting class. And then
a high school digital media teacher.
And
so
then there's
8 hours a day.
There's a freshman class called Contemporary Media, and then there's 3 intro, intermediate, and advanced digital media production are my actual courses.
What is your key light?
I don't know. So if you happen to follow Instagram, I was a little more active on Instagram stories this week. Not Falcon Eyes. Nanlite sent a massive care package to me this week. So right now, I am using a Falcon Eyes key light, which is the Falcon Eyes RX818. It's the RGB. It's a great light. I love it. That's my main key light. One of the lights Nanlite sent me was the Forza 200, which is actually our hair light. But I'm thinking of switching them. It just depends if it'll work. The Forza 200, I don't know if you can see it in any of these. No, you can't. It's up there. It's in a Light Dome Mini. And I'm thinking of trying to make that the key light. I think it'll be bright enough. And the reason for that is because the Falcon Eyes is an amazing key light. But since it's an RGB light, I like it as a hair light because you can change the color of the backlight and the hair light, which looks cool on people. It looks really cool on product photography. So anyway, it's the Falcon Eyes RX818. But I was using the Falcon Eyes like the RX18, I think it was. It's the same light, but it's not RGB. And then Falcon Eyes sent me that one. And I just switched out because it's RGB. And then I gave Heather the other one because she was using a light that made sizzling noises when you turned it on.
I never upgrade my stuff until it breaks. So
yeah, but which is great, and I admire that. But that one was like a fire hazard. So she has the Falcon Eyes I was using, and I have this new Falcon Eyes now, and then the Forza.
Do you think there will be something like computational audio tech making budget mic sounds great?
I mean,
I don't use Adobe Audition, but it looks like a lot of AI is currently going on.
I would bet that already exists in a way. But yeah, I would think so. But it goes the same thing goes with anything. I think you could do that and it would work. But when you're starting with a high quality piece of audio or high quality image, that's always obviously going to yield better results.
Rode, come on. I mean, they aren't even sponsoring their biggest advocate.
Honestly, like Rode, I bet you if I asked Rode for anything, like
they know who he is.
I bet you they would. I mean, we talk via email and social media like pretty regularly, but they've given me like tiny accessories and stuff. Like they sent me the Rodecaster accessory pack, which actually I don't have them on here, but it had like the little mic clips. Nothing extravagant. And they did send me a PSA 1. But Rode has been super friendly to me and super like nice to me. I've never asked them for anything, and part of that, not that I wouldn't want free Rode stuff. So if you want to send me Rode, I'll take it. But I kind of, since I talk a lot about Rode products, I kind of like that I have to buy them because it just makes it seem more
legit.
It seems more legit. I have skin in the game.
Not sponsored, yeah.
But I think at this point I've done enough with like Rode stuff that I wouldn't feel bad about.
How can I improve my sound from my fine 678 that my teacher doesn't hear my keyboard?
That's going to be tough because I believe that's a condenser style microphone, which just by its very nature, it sounds better than this, but it's going to pick up more of the room sound, which is going to include keyboards. The easiest thing to do right off the bat would be get it as close to you as possible, which means you probably have to turn down the mic level. So that way it's like close to you and then you can't hear anything like that. I'm proud that considering your teacher's like, you want your teacher to have the best audio quality possible.
Dave asked, do you do post-recording edits in the Rodecaster or on the computer?
Great question. The computer. So the Rodecaster doesn't really have any built-in editing functions. I think there's like you can do basic trimming maybe. But the Rodecaster, I either do just straight to Rodecaster, like, and then upload that file and, you know, use the sound pads to play the intro music and stuff. Or if I'm editing, I just use Adobe Audition. I was using GarageBand. And the reason I switched was because GarageBand doesn't have freaking broadcast meters where you can see your decibel levels. You need to get Logic to do that. I was going to just jump into Logic, but I already have an Adobe account. So I just jumped to Audition, which I'm happy I did because Audition is so freaking cool.
32-bit float for audio. Thoughts?
I've been watching all the videos about that stuff. It's honestly just like beyond my level. It's just beyond my level. I think it's cool that these tools are becoming accessible to people and there's really cool, more affordable options, but it's like, it's just beyond me. I'm just not there.
Can you review the Fifine K690?
Probably not. Not because I wouldn't want to, but because I do, unless it's something totally bizarre like this guy, I do like to only get stuff if I actually have a use for it. So like the Fifine microphone that I did review, we gave to a friend who's using it a lot now. Not that I couldn't get another one and give it to somebody else, but
I like this really quick. If you're an Ecamm user like me, I use Keynote to create animated overlays. Super cheap and really easy to learn. Check out Bradley Teaches channel.
Great idea.
That's awesome. Okay, thoughts on this?
So yeah, the Behringer. Okay, this is gonna get me in trouble probably. Ben. I need to jump into, can you click on my YouTube channel? I want to get the name right here because I recently found a channel that I really love. I don't know, click on my premium thing. Sorry, I want to find the exact name right. And just scroll down my subscriptions. The YouTube channel, it's in the B's. Ben Jordan. Ben with 2 N's, Jordan. He has a great YouTube channel all about audio gear. And he's actually working with Behringer to find positive solutions. But essentially, Behringer makes really inexpensive gear that's like shockingly high quality. So in terms of just quality, it's going to be good. However, Behringer as a company does some things I don't like. And therefore, I now stay away from their products. Namely, they just kind of tend to create things that other people have already also made.
Oh.
And yeah, I'm just not a fan of it.
Pretzel. Do you risk desyncing your audio when you send video via your Ecamm MIDI and audio via your Rodecaster, as opposed to sending audio through the camera's mic jack and then through the Ecamm MIDI?
Yes. And anytime you're dealing with separate audio video sources for any kind of streaming thing, you're going to deal with a sync issue. And the reason is it has nothing to do with your connection. It just has to do with audio and video, signals. So it's like, it doesn't matter what the connection is. If you have like 2 runners who have the same amount of stamina, the same amount of strength, they can keep up with each other, but one of them is carrying a bag of marshmallows, that's your audio guy, and one of them is carrying a bag of bricks, that's your video guy, you know which one's going to get there first. The audio guy is going to get there first because it's just carrying less. And that's what happens here, and so you usually need to add in that audio delay so it can catch up to the video. Fortunately, like Ecamm Live makes it super easy to add a delay. The Ecamm Mini, if you're running your audio through the Ecamm, the software makes it super easy to add a delay. If you're using OBS, you can add a delay. It's a little funkier. Here's a feature request though, Rode. Now that so many people are using the Rodecaster Pro for streaming and not just direct recording, I'm pretty sure you could do it through a firmware update, the ability to add in an audio delay directly into the Rodecaster. So just I can set it, 8 frames or whatever right there, and then it's already synced. I don't have to play with software or anything. I would love that in a firmware update. Super chat.
I've been having really slow 4K upload times to YouTube. Sometimes takes 4 to 5 hours for a 4-minute video, and I have 450 download, 21 upload. Thoughts?
I don't have, like we said earlier, I don't know if you were here. Our internet sucks. So I do 4K, but
you just wait for it to be that long.
I just wait. Yeah. I just literally upload before we go out to eat and take the dogs out for a WALK. And we can't say it, otherwise they will freak out, and just kind of wait for it. I just don't have good internet, and YouTube processing can be weird sometimes too.
Bicky, do you use social media management software or app?
I don't, but you have used them in the past.
But I don't anymore.
You don't anymore. Why not anymore?
Because I prefer to upload natively. I really should get a scheduler. I don't know why I don't, but I use Notion to plan my content. I just don't have a schedule in advance. I mean, all of them kind of you can schedule in advance.
You were using Hootsuite for a while, right?
Yeah, I was using Hootsuite, but how do you make the audio go the same time as a video? I have problems with my transmission and it lags.
It depends on your software, but you have to add an audio delay.
Oh,
and you just
this
have
is
to
a good
experiment
question.
till it lines up. Mike Cola, I can't seem to get the glare out of my glasses when going live. Yes. So Caleb Bike, who I've talked about many times, as a bald man who wears glasses, he has a video specifically about how to film people who may be wearing glasses or have a shiny head. I would go check it out. It really has to do mostly with the position of your lighting, and like how high or low your main lights are. That's really it. Fortunately, at the moment, I don't have to wear glasses for day-to-day tasks, so I don't know what's happening over there. So it hasn't been an issue for me, but Caleb has a great video on it that should give you everything that you need. Let's see here. Service Emperor says yes for a more update to a delay in the Roadcaster. I was just thinking about that yesterday, that would be cool. Kay then has the best question. I'm going to switch. I don't know if this will be okay or not. Oh, okay. We can't see. Oh, we just see your head. There, we have a corgi. There's Finley, the corgi.
When did you get so big?
He's almost 28 pounds now, and he's 10 months old this month. So this is Finley, our corgi. He looks so handsome on camera.
Look at you.
He's a very good boy. And then we have a golden retriever that is 6 years old named Ben. That's the one that was barking earlier.
Oh my goodness.
Finley's a very good boy. We had another corgi named Ollie. I'm sure you've seen him in a bunch of my videos. He passed away like super unexpectedly in March, right at the beginning of COVID, which was devastating.
Finley, go tell him to say hi.
But now we got Finley here, who is a very interesting gentleman.
You want to say hi?
So those are our two dogs,
Okay.
and we love them. Alrighty. Homesick Mac is here. Hey, what's up? I'm glad you're here.
Hi.
He's been around all over the place. And of course, Ron is just,
Ron is like the best moderator. Thanks, man.
I know, the Ronerator. Yes. What do you think about using the Ada HD100 camera for YouTube? I've zero experience, but I can just say, just use the best thing you got. Greetings from Mexico. Your videos have been really helpful. Oh, thank you for that. Mobility. Here's some direct answers to that question. 2 tricks to reduce glare in glasses. Raise the light up and point at 45 degrees, so up and kind of at an angle instead of direct. And tilt glasses above the ears a little so they're angled slightly downward. If you can do that without messing up your vision, that's a good thing to do too. That's always nice when you don't have to when you can just be yourself and wear your glasses like normal. Ron just said, look at dog. Yeah, if all else fails, if I don't know, it's my video this week actually, is going to be a review on this lens.
Oh my gosh, you guys.
The Canon RF 50mm 1.8. I love this lens. And for this, what I wanted to do was try to take a page out of Philip Bloom's book and just do excessive B-roll footage, sample shots. So the whole video, every frame of the video is filmed with this lens, which was hard because I had to film the lens with the lens. So there's a lot of mirrors in there. And, but it was such a great excuse to just I'm going to film dogs for a really long time.
You got this next video that you're dropping on Thursday?
Yeah.
Okay, you guys.
It's a lot of dogs.
So everyone has to write Finley in the comments in this next video to show that you guys were here for this stream.
Yes.
Okay, when you watch that video on
That
Thursday.
will give you street cred. Ferdinand Tomas says that a green screen background. It is not.
It is not.
It's my real room. I can touch all the things over here. It's just because we're filming. Wide open aperture 1.4 gives us that nice shallow depth of field, which I don't care. I will never get tired of.
He's been asking this question.
Oh, Fatmir Tahiri. Hi from Albania. Hello. What mic can you use for ambient music sound? In a way, almost anything would work. This is where I would actually recommend one of the Zoom recorders. Even something like an H1, H5, something like that if you have the budget for it. Just a really nice field recorder that's going to get great sound. You just set it up, let it record, and you're going to get great ambient noise.
Can you quit your job, please? We cannot have enough of you. Okay, guys, so
no comment.
Go to himynameistom.com/waitlist. Tom is in production of his first online course, which would help that transition?
So where we're at right now is I essentially have 2 full-time jobs because YouTube channel is doing really well. And also I am a contracted teacher, and that's my career it's my profession by, education and certification and whatnot. But I've been teaching for 11 years. COVID's been hard. YouTube's doing well. If this course does well,
yeah, so go sign up for the wait list. It's totally free right now. It's just a
Here
just a
are the lines
list,
we can read between them.
to get updates about when he's done.
Finley with an F, Ocean Life Academy. But you can, as long as we understand what you're saying, we're good.
Rob said cannot find Clubhouse on the App Store. For the M1.
Oh, because Clubhouse is invite only.
It's in beta.
Yeah. Heather invited me. That's how I got the exclusivity. It's actually really fun right now. I don't know if Clubhouse is going to stick around. Part of me kind of feels like it's so fun and trendy, and then it will literally just and everyone's going to get tired of it. I'd love to be wrong, though, about that, because it can be magical. Like, I've had incredible experiences that I couldn't have had on any other platform there, for sure. Let's see here. Oh, for the waitlist thing. Thank you. Yeah. I promise it's not a spammy thing. If you get emails from it, it's literally an email I typed and sent out. So I promise.
Let's see. Do you search the web for your sound effects, or do you have a specific audio site? I've tried MusicBed and Epidemic Sound. I
use Soundly. Peter Lindgren, who was here a minute ago, he did a video earlier this week where he talked about a sound snap. That's the one that he uses. I actually think they have the best quality sound effects, but I use Soundly because you can download it as an app on your computer, and literally you find a sound effect, you highlight the part you want, and you just drag that directly into your editing software and you're done. It's amazing. And they do have a lot. They'll have Apple Magic Mouse, right click, real specific sound effects. I love Soundly. It is $15 a month though.
How can you make a blurrier background with a camera that's a built-in lens?
Yes. Really, like you said, zooming is kind of that. The way to get a blurry background without using a fast prime lens is to zoom in as far as it will go. But obviously that doesn't work sometimes if you're in a small environment. Depending on your camera and your lens, though, you might be able to buy an adapter. I remember even back when I was in high school using my Sony Handycam, I would always buy wide angle lenses and lens adapters. You might be able to find a relatively inexpensive $40-ish adapter that could fit on your lens.
Okay, really quick, Cybertron. Tom is vegetarian, so getting him to try Filipino food, we're a little bit limited.
Yeah.
And I don't cook Filipino food, so I can't even remember the last time I don't think you've ever had Filipino
I've never
food.
had Jollibee specifically.
You know what Jollibee is?
I know Jollibee because our friends, Mark and James, who have a mukbang channel, they eat it all the time on their channel.
Also, do you watch Peter McKinnon or Casey?
Casey hasn't uploaded in months, but yeah, I'll watch a Casey video anytime. Peter, I used to watch all the time and just kind of went in a different direction.
Do you prefer a mic arm or stand?
It depends.
I prefer the mic arm. Okay, so
yeah, what do
2
you
weeks
prefer?
ago, we had been using these mic stands for the couples table for weeks, and I feel like it has this tendency, I don't know if I just place it weird, but I end up covering my mouth like this, and I think that defeats the purpose of having a video podcast, because you want to be able to see people
talk. The podcast
talk.
ends up looking like this.
Yeah, you need to see lips moving, otherwise what's the point? And having this on the boom arm makes it a lot easier to position it where it's not covering your mouth. So that's what I prefer. Would you please? Sorry,
He's having a sock fight down here.
Trying to.
You can see our boom stands. I do like it because it gets it out of the way. With the tabletop stands also, if you do this and you talk with your hands out like I do, the sound will pick up. This one I have mounted actually to this desk on the side, so you can hear if I tap that desk, it transfers. But if I do this desk, where I'm talking most of the time, it doesn't transfer over. So the flexibility of the boom arm is pretty amazing.
This.
Oh, Ribs, Beards, and Gear, what is up? Thank you, sir, for being here. Something interesting, he had Epidemic Sound for 6 or 7 years. When I was with Network, they gave you a free membership. When I left my network, I instantly had copyright.
They dropped them as soon as I signed back up.
Yeah, I've heard when your account changes with Epidemic, weird things can happen. But supposedly, I've had my account active for a long time. Supposedly, while your account is active, anything you make is safe. Even if you cancel your account, anything could be safe. Anything should be safe. Which actually I did deactivate my membership for a while and I didn't have any issues. Supposedly though, you should be able to then go back and like talk to them, be like, hey, these were made during this time, and they should clear it. But that's really annoying. I've had great experience with Epidemic. I use Epidemic and Artlist interchangeably. Most of my videos have music from both in them.
Did you talk about this already? PodMic for vocals, for music?
Oh yeah, I mean, you totally could. There's no reason you couldn't. The PodMic's a dynamic mic, so you could use it anywhere you'd use a dynamic microphone. I ain't gonna use it for singing though.
Oh, this is a good question. What is the ideal duration for a podcast episode?
It totally depends.
I think it's like asking what's the duration for a YouTube video. Yeah, it's...
I go with, here's the gauge I would go with. What do you like? Some people love 10-minute, 15-minute podcast episodes because they're quick and easy. I like at least an hour for a podcast episode because I like to listen to it while I'm doing something, while I'm driving. I like to kind of live in that world for an extended period. So I like at least an hour, which means I try to make my podcast episodes about an hour long at least. But that's personal preference.
Aaron's a lifelong vegetarian.
Wow, that's
like never. I've never had meat. That's crazy.
That is. I'm going on about 2.5 years. But it's so funny because my parents were vegetarians for like 11 years, like before I was born. But for some reason, I don't know. She won't get 2 hours into a live stream. But my mom like does not know how to function around vegetarian. Like even though she was one for 11 years,
what do you eat?
She like cannot understand. Anytime we visit or whatever, it's like, what do you eat? And it's like, meat, just not that.
So like salad.
Yeah. Also, there's a lot of options. But.
A low budget audio interface for a pod mic.
Yeah, Focusrite. Go with Focusrite. Any of the Scarletts. That's what I would definitely recommend because I've been loving this Focusrite.
Boom art, is that on the right?
Well, this is, I don't know if it's your right or our right. So this is the PSA one. That is the Gator Frameworks 3000, I think it is. My video from last week is all about these boom arms, so it's featured heavily in that. Have you ever heard of Audio? Audi.io, I think. No.
Can you describe your musician career?
I think there's real musicians here in the audience.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
7 plus the one out there. 8,
7
9.
guitars. Yeah, 8 guitars in the house. There's a bass right there. There's a drum set. There's all these like.
Oh, you guys have never seen my synthesizers.
Synthesizers. Tom is a huge music.
So I started playing music in 2001, but it does not sound like I've been playing since 2000.
Yes, it does.
It doesn't.
You don't give yourself enough credit.
Purely hobby level stuff, but it's really fun. My friends and I had a band in high school, and
I know, it's so cute. There's a little CD with like.
We had a CD with our songs, and we were on a site called IUMA, which was the Internet Underground Music Archive. It like just disappeared randomly though.
Let's see. How did you and Peter meet?
YouTube and Instagram. I was just the same way Heather and I met. I left him a comment on YouTube.
That's literally how we met, and then we got married.
Yeah. And so the YouTube algorithm gives you what you need. Just don't fight it. Yeah, it was just that. I was leaving comments, and he checked out my channel, and then he started sending me Instagram messages, and we were talking there, and then we just get along really well, and so we were just doing like FaceTime calls to hang out.
Reach out to people. You guys would be surprised at who would respond. Like,
and then Peter was literally like, we should do a podcast, and then like 3 days later we were recording a podcast, so there was no planning.
What up, peeps? OBS versus Ecamm for high production live streams. Also, what about live streams or webinars for 20 plus people? I work in local government and we use Zoom, but I want to step it up.
I mean, you can use Zoom because Zoom has like the webinar feature and stuff. Because that's what I'm chair of our city's public arts commission, and we use Zoom webinars for our meetings. So that way, like members of the public can join. Ecamm versus OBS for production quality, zero difference because the output quality of both. Ecamm can do up to 4K. OBS can do whatever you want it to do. The usability of Ecamm is worth the price. OBS obviously being free, huge advantage. OBS probably has more functionality because you can literally just rework it to do whatever you want. But I just grew so tired of like trying to get OBS to do what I needed it to do that Ecamm is like...
It's so user-friendly.
Oh, I love it. I love Ecamm.
Like intuitive interface.
Yeah.
Vicky's also vegan. Your people are here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a personal thing. So the reason I did was One of my favorite videos on my YouTube channel, which nobody watches, is this video about doing landscape photography in Iceland.
Go
because
check it out.
in
It's
June of
amazing.
2018, I
It's
went
a
to
really good
Iceland for a
video.
photography trip, and I love that video, and it was really fun. But traveling through Iceland all day was you're just traveling, and there's like, look, there's a cute sheep, there's a cute goat, there's a little baby sheep on top of the mama sheep or whatever. And I had like already been leaning towards like not eating meat. And then you go to your restaurants and it's like, well, we've got lamb and we've got goat meat, and you're like, those are the cute animals I was driving by. It was that trip is what really like made the connection. You know, when you're eating a steak that it's a cow, but that's the thing that was like, I understood. I just understood it more, and I just couldn't do it anymore. But that's a completely personal choice. So
I am not vegetarian.
yeah, I mean, trust me, we've grilled my Beyond Burgers and her steaks like side by side on the grill. So that's my thing. It's not something that the whole world has to do. It's my thing.
Let's see. Oh, I like this. Both Heather and Tom have very pleasant voices in the first place, so they can talk into a Campbell soup can. My voice is hoarseness 200%. As soon as I start recording, if I sing, it's okay.
I'm gonna make my own microphone for a video out of a soup can.
What is audio? Everyone keeps talking about audio.
Oh, it's a new kid on the block for royalty-free music, and you can get
Oh.
lifetime subscriptions.
Oh, hey.
Oh, gotcha. There we go.
All right, Michael has affiliate links.
There you go. Go sign up. If he's an audio, go sign up through him.
Yeah. Oh, he loves it so much he canceled his epidemic subscription.
There you go.
What is this?
What do you think about the Lewitt LCT 440 Pure mic for podcasting? I think that I don't know anything about it, so I'm sorry. Ron watched the Iceland videos, and he said they're great. Yeah, because I went to Iceland solo, and then we met up in Switzerland, and there's Switzerland videos with both of us, and then Iceland, and that was just an amazing trip.
Does the Go XLR have preamp?
Oh, you know what? I forgot about the Go XLR. I'm not that familiar with it, but it's a super popular choice. So yes.
Excited about this.
Thoughts by Jay Brown. Heather's going to answer this question.
Thoughts on using a Canon M50 as a webcam, and what lens would you recommend for that function? I use my Canon M50 as a webcam, and I love it.
And she uses the kit lens, the 15 to 45.
Yeah.
But to add on to that, I just, if you follow any of my social media, about 2 months ago, I made a post where I was like, hey, I'm doing this year's equipment order for my teaching program, for my high school program. And I wanted input on more like grip gear, weird little things, not just like camera lens, because we kind of have enough almost. And that order, like I took a bunch of suggestions, tried to formulate it into something that's practical and useful. That order of equipment arrived last week, even though like no students will get to use it till next year because it's pandemic. But part of that was the Viltrox adapter. I think it's a Viltrox adapter for the M50 to use EF lenses with the M50. I played around with it. That's amazing because it makes the M50 like a baby EOS R. But then there's also the RP, which is full frame. But anyway, M50 is a great camera at a great price. And because the Mark II came out, I think you can get the Mark I for a really good deal right now.
Can you plug a Canon camera and a webcam into the Rodecaster?
No. Because Rodecaster's audio only, but you can use like the Canon EOS webcam utility.
Yeah.
Plug your Canon camera into your computer, which is free. And then your computer's not free. The webcam utility is free. And then use the Rodecaster for audio.
If you could design your dream mic, how would that look like?
Ooh. Oh, that's a good question. It would definitely have retro vibes, but I don't know. I mean, the pod mic is definitely on the way there. I love the way the pod mic looks. Where's the other one? There it is over there. Yeah, I love the way the pod mic looks. It's close. It's like a little stubby. I might want something that's like a little lengthier. But I like the retro thing. I really like these bands up in here. This is sort of like a coppery thing. I really like silver, maybe some blue. Oh, some sweet blue accents. Also, one of my students pointed out to me that like gaming mics now have like RGB lights built into the mic, which is 100% unnecessary, but also fantastic. So maybe non-flickering lights built into the microphone. And then it goes with your voice, so when you talk, it's like...
Are you using the cloud lifter on your pod mic right now? Also, have you tried the Dynamite gain lifter?
Yes, I'm using the cloud lifter right now. I haven't tried the Dynamite, but Jared Spink from the Hive podcast recently upgraded to the SM7B with the Dynamite stick, and he has it, uses it, loves it. So it seems like I love Jared and I trust his judgment.
I found your channel from the MP Mini Delta.
Whoa!
Do you still use it?
My 3D printing videos, the MP Mini Delta. So I actually donated that to my school.
There you go.
Because I ended up with a lot of 3D printers, and our school has this really cool engineering program that does 3D printing, and the teacher of that's a real good tinkerer, and that was like the perfect project printer for him. So I donated that to the school, but so it's still there, but I don't have it. All right, we'll go till 3:00 our time here. I'm having a ton of fun, but I'm also getting really hungry.
I'm hungry, yo.
I'm gonna make me a vegetarian tuna melt, chickpea of the sea.
Is the M50 Creator Kit worth the money?
I don't know what it's priced at. I would say yes, but let me tell you about the RP. If the EOS R and the M50 had a baby, it would be the RP, which is like a full frame M50, really, in a lot of ways. And the price is oftentimes so good with the RP, and they even sell it as a webcam kit now. It's more expensive. I have a hard time. If you could afford the RP, I'd have a hard time recommending the M50 over it. But if you can't afford the RP, the M50 is a stellar camera.
What advice would you give to someone who wants to start a podcast and has no idea what to talk about?
Just start a podcast. Here,
I have advice for this.
You go first then.
I think you should start a podcast about something that you can talk endlessly about.
The thing that your friends are tired of hearing about.
Yeah.
Talk about the thing that you don't shut up about, the thing that you're always thinking about, hobby, interest, opinion, whatever it is. Start there.
Something you're curious about. Yeah.
Because you need to remember, most podcasts don't make it past 7 episodes. That's the average. So something you can get past 7 episodes about.
Aim for 100 episodes.
Unless you wanted to do a series, like you want to break down, I'm going to do 4 episodes about blank, and that's going to be my little like self-contained thing. But Heather's the genius who shared this idea with me. You don't have to release everything you record. So if you want to get started and you don't know what to do, just record.
Just
practice, see where it goes. And if you decide you don't want to put it out there, you don't have to. More often than not, though, once it's done, you might be like, it's done. Like, why don't I just upload it? And then you can just upload it.
When should we expect the tiny new light video review? Dude, we redid the lighting in my studio. I'm so excited. I don't know why I didn't make it a video, but I was like,
so maybe you guys can give me some feedback as we're kind of nearing the end here on this. I have a lot of lights. So both Nanlite sent me like a buttload of lights. There's no other way to put it. And literally they were like, just have fun with these. So it's not like sponsored video. It's not commitment to anything. They were like, just have fun. They're the coolest freaking people to work with. Cause they reached out to me and they were like, hey, do you want any lights? And I looked through their catalog, and what I did was I was like, well, I have Nanlights. I bought the big Pavo tubes. I bought the mini Pavo tubes. And I kind of looked at a few lights, and I was like, well, I could use the Forza for this. So here's what I would do with the Forza. Here's what I would do with more Nanlights or Pavo tubes. I mean, here's what I would do with like Lido lights or little accent lights. Let me know if you think any of that sounds good. And they're like, oh, we'll just give you all those lights. And I was like, oh my God. And then I passed out. And they came. So I have a lot of light videos coming. And then Falcon Eye has also sent me, like I mentioned, the RX818, which was the same thing. I have an ethics statement on my website. So hi, my name is tom.com/ethics. If you want to know how I handle reviews and sponsored stuff. I've never really accepted free stuff until kind of like recently the companies that I actually use asked to send free stuff. But it's all being sent with like literally like just have fun with it. You don't even have to make a video about it. And it's not paid or anything. So anyway, soon my lighting videos don't do well, but I really have fun making them. I know my podcasting microphone audio videos do better, but so many people are doing streaming video podcast, and lighting is such a huge part of video that it's like I can't help but not want to make like lens videos and lighting videos too. So
do your students know you do YouTube videos? Are they like, yo, Mr. Buck is famous? I think they learn a lot from your videos.
Yes and no. I never ever promote my YouTube stuff to my students because I feel that that's ethically weird. They're a captive audience. Also, my target audience is not high school kids. Although I love it if someone in high school is psyched, like Dominic was up in here. It's not that you can't enjoy it in high school, but it's just not my target audience. And ethically, it seems strange, but students will Google you.
Of course, they
find you. In general, they either don't know about it or they think it's cool. And then some of them, what is funny is they'll say like, I was trying to look up how to do something and like your video popped up.
Also, Kelton's telling us to eat on the stream. We have to go like prepare food though.
Oh yeah, I'm gonna make a tuna melt.
I've been getting into 3D printing lately too. I got the Prusa Mini.
Wait, sorry, Aaron. I'm just gonna go over here real quick.
Aaron, this is a whole nother obsession that Tom has.
Yeah, I have a lot of hobbies.
Send him down.
Boom. Prusa Mini right here. This is my favorite 3D printer. It's the most user-friendly, quietest, bestest 3D printer ever. I didn't need to get it, but I wanted to. I mean, I didn't need to show it to you, but...
Babe, chairs in my face, babe.
Sorry, babe.
Let's see, Rode Procaster or Rode Pod mic?
I mean, it's about your budget, right? I mentioned before, full disclosure, I've never used the Procaster myself, but if... You know, you can get several pod mics for the price of one Procaster.
Office monitor of choice.
So I'm using the LG something or other. It's their cheapest 34-inch curved monitor, and I like it. It does, like, I don't know if it's just mine, but sometimes when I push the button to like play with the settings, it like isn't responsive. And then I bought the little spider calibrator thing to calibrate the colors on it, which look a lot better. And now it's actually pretty accurate. It's like $500. I do like it, but 34-inch ultra-wide curved is like my ideal display.
Armando meant plug the Canon M50 and a webcam into the Ecamm Mini.
Well, the webcam, the Ecamm won't take a USB interface.
Right.
And if Aaron knows of an adapter to go from USB to HDMI, that'd be great. I've never heard of one, and that's a very common question, though.
Xavier, what camera would you recommend for a 30-minute plus video podcast? I have an M50, but limits to 30 minutes.
So
yes,
but use something like Ecamm Live and then record that way. Or even if you get like the A10 Mini Pro and you can record directly there, that way your camera's just on, like the EOS R has been on for 2 hours.
I use the webcam utility,
EOS
and then
webcam.
It just goes until the battery dies, which is about an hour and a half.
Yeah, so you could, once you get your camera into your computer, you can just record OBS, record Ecamm, whatever, and just, there's no limit there. That's the way to do it without having to spend more on a new camera.
Okay.
All right, we're going to wrap up the last few here. Ron is saying, if you can't think of what to do with all those nan lights, I think there's a guy in
Super chat
in Ireland that would want them. Brandon Lee, it's nice to see you here. Thanks for all you do. Keep checking out the course. Yes.
Nice.
Aw, Xavier and Anais. How nice of you.
We got another one.
That was the same question, but thank you so much. You guys are amazing, and you guys have an incredible story, so highly recommend checking out everything you guys are doing.
What do you want? Call a video podcast similar to what you both are doing right now?
Oh,
what do you want to call a video podcast?
It's whatever you want. So I think it's like, are you doing a stream? Are you doing a podcast? It's whatever you want. I mean, this is a live stream because it's live, but if you're recording the audio, it could be a podcast. That's what our couples table stream is. We do a live stream, but then we save it and upload it as a podcast as well. Heather's typing furiously. Oh, she's leaving. She's dropping them links. Someone says play the drums. Maybe I'll do another Instagram stream tonight on those, which was literally like, I just wanted to play the drums like normal, so I just set up my iPad. It was actually leaning against this microphone to be held up, and I just listened to music in my monitors and try to play along to it. So it was very, bad quality, but fun. So there we go. Do you know who Gloria Stefan is? Yes, I do. It's not a question I expected to get in this stream, but yes, I do. Jessica Norton, what do we need you to do to get Tom a road sponsorship? Well, maybe if I wrote them a letter. Anyway.
Can you whistle? I can't.
I don't know. I like whistling. Oh, good. And Heather left a thing. Cool. There we go. I think this is probably a good place to wrap up really quick. It's Bean. I see you're saying with the...
Wait, okay, so I have a question.
Wait, I was just in the middle. I want to be polite.
Okay, go.
With the pod mic, what do you need to get the sound to your computer? Some sort of XLR interface.
There you go.
With good gain.
How do you feel about where you are with your YouTube journey?
Oh, my YouTube journey. I love it. I mean, it's unreal, honestly. Like...
Because, I mean... you're at what? How many subscribers are you at now?
51.6.
How many videos have you made?
220-ish, 230.
How many views do you have? 4.5 million?
Yeah.
How does it make you feel?
That's okay. Let's have kumbaya real talk for a second here. I mentioned this, I think, we talked about Alicio. I think I talked about this on his podcast. So, growing up as someone who felt he never belonged anywhere, starting a YouTube channel was a scary thing, and it takes a long time to grow. Some people it doesn't. For me, it really did. And putting yourself out there and realizing that there's a community of people. You might not feel like you fit in your immediate world. Maybe you do, and that's awesome, but maybe you don't. But you fit in the world, and the people you fit in with are out there, and YouTube has been my way of connecting with those people, and that has been unreal. And the fact that, like, you know, even once the channel got into like 20 subscribers, it was like, I know I don't know all of them. This is crazy. And 50,000 is ridiculous. And the sad part with it is, honestly, like, if you've ever seen that video about star sizes where it shows like the Earth, and then it shows Jupiter next to the Earth, and Jupiter is way bigger, and it shows Jupiter next to the sun, and the sun's way bigger, and the sun next to a bigger star, and you go to the, you know, everything just gets dwarfed, and you go to like the biggest star in the world where everything else is just microscopic, and then that star is microscopic compared to another one. In a way, that's how like YouTube numbers work, because when you're just starting out, you think like 100 is an impossible goal.
Yeah.
And that's probably the biggest one, honestly. And then you get there, and then you're like, 1,000, no way. And then 10,000 blew my mind, and 50,000 blows my mind. And then you see other people who are like, you know, they get 50,000 a month, and you're like, well, I don't know, I guess 50,000 is not that much. So you really do have to stay present in your journey. And I can believe that it just blows my mind that that my channel has been able to grow where it has. And more importantly than that, like, I'm proud of the people who watch my channel. Like, I'm like happy to talk about what everybody is doing and to share the cool stuff that they do. And it's like, it's not an embarrassing thing of like, oh no, like, I kind of like, there's an audience you don't want to know about. Like, no, I'm super proud of my community and my audience, and the fact that I could do anything that's helpful and anything that plays a role in somebody else's creative journey, big or small, is just like amazing to me. And if I'm going to have fun along the way and make some dumb jokes, I like that too.
I'm so proud of you.
Thank you. And I couldn't have done it without you. Because let me tell you, and this might be helpful. I know I've said this ad nauseum, but I'm going to say it again because you might not have heard it. When I started my YouTube channel, I put my toes in the water and did the things, and I made like 5 or 6 videos, and I was fooling around, but I didn't know exactly what I was doing. And that was when I met Heather. And Heather, I was feeling kind of silly. Like, I didn't want anyone in real life to know I had a YouTube channel. I didn't know where it was going. I didn't know what I was doing. And Heather showed up, and she was the one that was like, you should absolutely have a channel. It's cool that you want to have a channel. Your channel will be awesome. And it sounds so simple, but having somebody I admire just tell me that it was okay and cool and absolutely acceptable for however old I was, 31 or whatever at the time, to have a YouTube channel was all I really needed. That. And so regardless of where you're in high school, you're retired, at any point, if you have the thing you want to share, YouTube, podcast, whatever, it's cool. And you should absolutely do it. And sometimes you need the person to just give you that kick in the butt, like give you permission to do it. You don't have to be the one that it's a free account. Go click create account right now. Go click upload.
Like, if you have the itch, I mean, imagine if Tom never started his channel.
I would be so sad. Like,
It's not, I think the weird thing is, like, people think that success on YouTube is getting sponsored or having like millions of subscribers and stuff. But it's like, if you have something to say, there are so many books, but that's not to stop anybody from writing a new one. You know, like, your perspective, your story matters, and it can impact somebody, even though there's already so many YouTube channels. It doesn't, no one has your YouTube channel or your podcast.
And like, we were talking about courses and stuff, and I know courses, sometimes it can be like, oh, this person's just selling another course. But in my mind, what I was thinking when I decided that that's something I wanted to do is, I really like being able to teach my students, but it seems so ephemeral. Like, it's there, and then the students leave, and then the moment leaves, and it might not even be the right students at the right time, because public education is what it is. Whereas like creating something where I can share what I know in a really specific way for a specific audience and it's just always there, that seems important to me. And that's the same thing as like the YouTube channel is I can share my personality. I can share things that I have been interested in my whole life. Like when you asked, you know, like what was the first mic you bought? And I'm like, well, when I was in middle school. Like this is something that I've been doing for a really long time and I love it. And this is an outlet for it. And I could do that without YouTube. But this like, I don't know, this makes it's not just me. Like this room existed prior to it being my YouTube studio, but I would just come in here and like piddle around with stuff. And that was fun. And I enjoyed it, but I kind of like the idea that not only am I enjoying it, but it's also now helpful to other people in some way.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Kelton is 13. Man, that is so cool. Like if we had started, I mean, we couldn't have because it didn't exist.
Yeah, it didn't exist. I was making videos at 13 though.
I was too.
Yeah.
100%. I was making videos for every occasion I could.
Yeah, for sure.
I thought it was so cool. My double VCR setup for editing.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I'd film a few PowerPoint presentations as my title screens.
All right.
There we go.
How
Well,
do you feel now? We're good?
I feel hungry, but I also feel full of gratitude. Empty of food, but full of gratitude. So I want to thank you guys
You should do a Clubhouse room. Not right now, but maybe later.
to being here. Yeah, I mean, I'll pop around on Clubhouse. I thought about doing a Clubhouse thing.
Yeah, go hang out with Tom on Clubhouse. I'll put our things.
I mean, I'm
Find
so darn Tom on all the
Clubhouse.
things. Yeah, but I want to thank everybody for being here, and it really means the world to me that you watch the videos, want to hang out on a live stream. It's like an honor to get to know everybody, and like I said, I couldn't be more proud of our community here. My name is on the channel, but it's definitely an our community situation. So I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Sunday. There's a lot of other people I know who go live on Sunday afternoons and evenings, at least our time. So you can probably head into some other pretty fun live streams right now. And Aaron was also making videos when he's 13. See, there's like a kinship.
Yeah.
I can feel that.
Yeah.
And Cybertron, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate that. I appreciate all you guys. We don't have an outro. This isn't like our podcast. I was going to do our outro.
Dominic was like, there's no table to
So anyway, thank you guys for being here. When and if I'm able to go live again, I'll schedule it a day or two in advance so you can be here and be a part of it because I love having you guys be here. And of course, just reach out to me. You know, sometimes it takes me a couple days to get back to messages, but I try to reply to everything. If you got an idea or a suggestion or whatever, go for it. And I'll see you guys here. This will be saved on the channel, and this stream will be saved on the channel. So I don't really delete my live streams.
Yeah, and we'll do Clubhouse probably later. We gotta go eat.
We gotta go take the dogs out on a WALK. So
all right.
Thanks so
This
much.
was great.
We don't have a way of ending this, but I appreciate you guys being here. I'm gonna wrap it up somehow. I guess I could play like some. What could I do?
Yeah,
here?
let's just like count down out.
Yeah, count up.
Give this video a thumbs up if you haven't already.
Yeah, I can play my podcast song. There we go, which was from the video. But anyway, thank you guys for being here. Have a great weekend. I will see you guys later.